another week in the NFL season is in the books. And with that comes another Monday where we get to sit up here and overreact to every game we just saw last night with about 12 hours to take it all in. We're here to give our raw, unfiltered first reactions. How are y'all feeling?
I feel great.
I've never
Once again,
seen...
if your team is 2-0, make some noise.
The team hasn't played week two.
Soon. You got it. I've never seen a group of fans ever be like, wow, like week one, we're so back, we're here. Week two, there's going to be a certain team here that's going to be, oh my God, it's so over.
I don't even know who you're talking about right now off the top of my head, but we'll get to that. I think we're going to cover like 10, 11 games today. Not going to be every single one, but we're going to talk about all the ones that have some real substance to talk about, some real stuff that will affect the season as we go forth. Yeah, man. You guys know how this works? Let's cue the intro music. First thing we have to talk about. The most unlucky quarterback in the NFL, I think to most people, has once again gotten even more unlucky. Joe Burrow is once again injured. He will miss 3 months with what is described as a severe turf toe that requires surgery. Yeah, man. What is y'all's first reaction to seeing the Bengals season probably be done before it really begins?
I mean, it's obviously just like, damn.
Yeah.
That's really it. And the craziest part about Joe Burrow injuries is that it's never like, my ankle hurts, I'll catch you guys next week. You're either gonna have Joe Burrow for the year or you're not.
Yeah.
You know, like he had the ACL, he had the thumb and the wrist injury that messed him up, and then now this is 3 months. That's 9 weeks, right? Like that's essentially the whole season.
That's 12 weeks.
He's coming back in December.
That's a minimum of 3 months. If there's any type of setback whatsoever, then we might not see Joe Burrow for the rest of the year. If the Bengals aren't like, if Jake Browning can't hold it down, they might just shut Joe Burrow down.
Yeah, so at this rate, if this is like the exact timeline to get surgery immediately, that would sound like at minimum he'd be back week 14.
Yeah.
Our best case scenario, I should say. That's not a good scenario. You know, that's a lot of games. And I think people will point to the fact that Jake Browning went 4-3 in 2023. Last time Joe Burrow missed extended period of time. They just won a game. So they're up 2-0 on their schedule right now, which isn't much better than being down 0-2 like they have been in past years. Mm-hmm. They finally found ways to win in September. And, you know, they paid the Pied Piper. They sacrificed Joe Burrow's foot for 2 wins in September for the first time. They're in a unique situation that with this offense, with these weapons, it's not a complete death sentence. They can maybe go 500 with Jake Browning. Like, that's possible.
Yeah.
And that probably doesn't jump out to people because you think about Joe Burrow, you probably think about the quarterback that carries the most weight on his shoulders of anybody. He is the offense, no protection, no run game, all this stuff. He's been for years. But they are very good, like we saw in this game against Jacksonville, which he got hurt. They are very good at allowing Jake Browning situations where he can just let the weapons win the game for him on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the season isn't over, but it's not great.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like for any back, obviously, it's like as a fan, you don't want to see this at all, and as a head coach, you would hate this. But if there's any team that's like well suited and equipped for their star players on offense who's not the quarterback to go ahead and continue to thrive and be decent at least as an offense, which would carry hopefully their defense, it's this team for sure. Their next few games, to me, when I read off their schedule, it looks like a nasty losing streak is coming by. They face off the Vikings, the Broncos, the Lions, the fucking Packers, the Steelers, and then they got the Jets, and then the Bears.
That's 4-3 right there, if you ask me.
Well, how many games did you just say? 6?
Said 7.
No, name 6 more, and that's where we're actually going to be.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, the 7 makes the Bears.
Okay, but again, we're damn near doubling that time. That's the crazy part. That sounds like a lot of weeks, and like, okay, they can maybe come out of that and be one game above 500 after this 2-0 start. That's possible. But now name 5 more. Who comes after that?
Right after that, they got the Steelers, the Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Dolphins. Okay.
So Cardinals. He might be coming back around the Ravens, Bills, Ravens.
Yes.
That's not the worst schedule in the world. It's not like they have a giant schedule where it's fucking murderer's row. How did we get here off a last place schedule? Yeah. But that's still pretty tough in a tough division where at best you were hoping to split your division games with each opponent. Like that was the best case scenario, I think, just by the nature of the AFC North. Shout out Jake Browning. They won games in the past with him. They won yesterday. He threw 3 interceptions yesterday and had a QBR of like 12. It was not a good game by Jake Browning. They just did a fantastic job isolating Tyson Campbell and picking on his ass every time because they knew he was a mismatch against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And they were able to narrowly defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars with the QB sneak at the last play. So great that Jake Browning can barely sneak by and beat a team that is bad defensively. I think we'd say with Jacksonville at this point. I don't feel good about this. I feel like it's more likely that they're out of the playoffs by the time Joe Burrow comes back.
I feel pretty decent about him.
Okay.
I like, because obviously every interception that Browning threw, I was like, damn, like this just can't happen. But then the defense, like in Jacksonville, they're their own mess,
yes.
right? Like they have so many other things that are going wrong with them. So you can look at them and say, you forced 3 turnovers on the backup quarterback, and you weren't able to fully capitalize and fully put this game away. Shame on you. But Jake Browning, even on that last drive, they started with that ball at the 7, and he drove them 93 yards to go win the game. That in itself, like I really like that, the ability for them just to stay in the game. And you saw so many times we are going to run bubble screens to Jamar Chase all day and all day long. And as soon as we can, like the sooner that we can get the ball in his hands, we'll be fine. I think that the fact that they do have this 2-0 cushion, I like that. The fact that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are still healthy, I'm okay with that. And now, like the Vikings, they had their game on Sunday night. We have no idea what J.J. McCarthy is going to look like on a week-to-week basis, because at this point we've seen 6 quarters of him looking really, really bad, and then 2 quarters of him looking good. So, what are we going to get going into next week? Like, there's a real possibility that we get Cincinnati 3-0. Jake Browning is competent enough, and the good thing about Jake Browning also is that even with those interceptions, he's not afraid to take shots. And I think that, like, when you do have weapons like Jamar and like T, you don't want to neutralize them just because you have a backup in the game. And so you still have a guy who has been there for 3 years, has been in this offense, has been in this system, and is okay allowing those guys to still, show off their strengths. So I'm with you. Like, I think 9-8 is still very much on the table, which is probably where we thought Cincinnati was going to be at the beginning of the year anyways.
But think about that. Think about that sentence. If you thought they were going to be there anyways, and now they have Jake Browning instead of Joe Burrow, I understand the sentiment is they won the game. People on Twitter, not saying you're doing this, but people on Twitter is Joe Burrow a system quarterback? Huh? Jeez. For such a good quarterback, they sure do win without him, huh? These receivers are good without him, huh? I get that on the surface when you see a victory. If that last drive doesn't go that way, that would not be the conversation. There would be no sentiment in our head that is the outcome. And to me, you mentioned it up top, the Jacksonville Jaguars have their own issues. Yeah. That is the more of a headline to me, is that was an embarrassing defensive game from them. The way they allowed Tyson Campbell to just be completely picked apart one-on-one on the sidelines. Like, I do not believe if this was an average defense that this would have been a Jake Browning victory. I think they did a good job. Like, shout out. Yeah. Their offensive coordinator does a fantastic job when Jake Browning's in the game of setting him up to succeed by putting the ball in the receiver's hands on the perimeters like he did. That's not a coincidence. That's not a one-time thing. That'll continue to be the game plan. I don't believe in that game plan against a defense as tenacious as the Vikings.
If it was anybody other than the Bengals, I probably would be right there with you. However, we are talking about Jamar Chase on the outside. And so it's like, it's the same thing that you talk about when we're talking about like the Vikings, and like Justin Jefferson can have anybody at quarterback. He's still going to make plays. He's still going to be able to impact the game. I feel the same way with Jamar Chase, and then as long as T. Higgins is on the opposite side, and you have to respect both of them regardless of who's playing quarterback, that threat and that part of their offense is still going to be there. And the fact that like Jake Browning can come in and look pretty decent, pretty competent. This is the biggest argument, in my opinion, for Zach Taylor to keep his job, because as we've seen, Joe Burrow just keeps missing games. He's here for a season, not there for a season, and you've had instances where Browning has come in and held the fort. That's okay, and so the fact that you can maintain water or keep trading water, that's fine. And so I understand from like, if we thought Joe Burrow was going to go 9-8 and now the backup's in, how could you think that? But now that we're 2 weeks in and we have a little bit more information on a couple of these teams, that schedule right there, there's a couple moments in there where it doesn't look as daunting as it would have been 2 weeks ago.
I guess the most daunting part to me is knowing the preseason expectations that we all had for the Bengals, which wasn't crazy at all, but knowing that, oh shit, like Joe Burrow's out. Joe Burrow has 9 working toes now. Oh my God. That means that we now also have less margin for room for error. Yeah. Like we can now make less mistakes on both ends of the floor now, which is quite scary. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not great. And like, yeah, so I guess obviously they won't be as good. We'll see where that line is in terms of how much they fall back compared to the competition. We'll see where that goes, right? Hopefully they can stay afloat for their season. But yeah, you're 100% right. This is a team that we've been clamoring, get back in the playoffs, get back in the playoffs. How can you have a nucleus of this level of talent on really both sides of the ball if you count Trey Hendrickson? But offense, you have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow when he's healthy. Let's throw Trace Brown in there, who's having a great start to his career, whatever. They have so much talent, and it just felt like it's to no avail that they're scratching, clawing to barely make the playoffs. That's like an organizational thing, right? But that's also attached to Joe Burrow's expectations as somebody who is commonly hyped up as maybe being the best quarterback in the NFL to some people. Many people argue that all things considered, playing the game the right way, pure pocket passer, all this stuff, what you want from a quarterback, that they'd rather have him than all the other guys winning MVPs. Frustrating now that he's out for again, but more frustrating for a Bengals fan who's seeing this and they're like, damn, we can't rely on our MVP quarterback. I'm seeing so many tweets that is emotional reaction saying, how many years are we going to watch this guy get injured and still continue to put our faith in him and he's never there? It's hard to be a Bengals fan right now, I guess what I'm saying.
I mean, that's just life. Like,
forever.
You know, like it's never like they had 1 year in 21 where everything was fine. But other than that, your life sucks if you're a Bengals fan. Like it's not a great situation. You guys are like the Marvin Lewis era was the definition of just mid and disappointment. And then on top of that, your owner is a broke boy. Mm-hmm. So like you don't really have anywhere to go. Joe Burrow is the only person that as soon as he steps in the building, you feel like you actually have a chance. And so now that's gone, and to say like what you said earlier, where week 1 you're like, oh, we're so back, and then week 2 it's like, damn, it's so over.
Yeah,
that's exactly how they're feeling. So I understand all the despair that comes with being a Bengals fan, because you feel like, especially since getting to the Super Bowl and since Joseph Osai pushed Mahomes out in the championship game in 22. Everything's just been so up and down, and you haven't had anything to actually stand on. And
how do you feel about that whole like talking point that some more disastrous Bengals fans are having about the whole Joe Burrow health thing? Like, are you an availability, accessibility type of guy?
I mean, it matters. Like I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It does suck where 20 like your rookie year gets cut off because you tore your ACL, and everyone excuses that obviously because of the pass protection. And then you have the hand injury, and then that was also just like, damn, like we were trying to do something, we still don't have a chance. And then now the toe stuff. And so I get it. Like you can't, and it's really hard, especially in football, to really be like, how dare you can't stay healthy? Like, bro, we're in a car crash every play.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
And the bigger thing is the offensive line thing. That's the main talking point. Everyone's talking about how much organizational malpractice it is that you're still in a situation where Burrow's getting hit nonstop and getting injuries, because you can do a chicken or the egg thing. Does he get hurt a lot, or does he? Actually, let me rephrase that. Does he get hurt like he's injury prone, or does he get hurt a lot because the offensive line is making him injury prone by allowing him to get hit every fucking play? Mm-hmm. I think it's probably a mixture of both. I think right now everybody's ragging on the Bengals offensive line. And, you know, they have 2 good tackles now in Orlando Brown Jr. and Mims, and they did go draft Dylan Fairchild, but I only named 3 names. Their center and their other guard is still a major hole, and I don't remember who led to that hit, which offensive lineman was responsible for it. Let's assume it was the center. Let's just assume that the pattern is put in place, that these holes in the offensive line continue to hurt Joe Burrow over and over again. It's no surprise that we're seeing this Andrew Luck comparison all over the timeline. It's
just, and that's that. If Burrow ends up being like this generation's version of Luck, obviously it's a travesty. But I think for Cincinnati, this is
terrible look.
It's a terrible look, but this is also like, hey man, this is all that your life is going to be cracked up to be, because unless they just start, you know, doing basically what the Cowboys do, and it's like first round guard, like you know, like, and just really, really dive in and start taking these offensive linemen. I don't know where they're going to be, and they really, like, that's the only path for them to get better, because they've spent all the money that they want to spend on Chase, Higgins, Burrow, right? Even if they had more money to spend, they don't want to spend it anyways. So you're not going to go out in free agency and spend all this money on all of these offensive linemen, on defensive talent. You are going to try and do it the hardest way possible, which is we're going to try and find all pros in the 5th round. And that is their entire MO. And so it's just not going to happen. And so I think that they can, for this season, forget even thinking about 9-8 Bengals fan. This is, can we go the ultimate? Can we go 1-0 every week? That's what you have to think about until Joe Burrow gets back.
They got to put one foot in front of the other. Keep the train moving.
They put their pants on just like us. They bleed just like you bleed. Like it has to be so bare bones, so simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's play a quick game. I'm going to name some NFL fan bases. You tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how sad they should be.
Okay. 10 being the saddest.
10 being the saddest, 1 being you're right. First off, the Cincinnati Bengals.
This is 10 out of 10. If your franchise,
how could it not be?
Yeah, if your franchise quarterback gets hurt in week 2 of the NFL season, you should be sad. Crying. In the fetal position. In a puddle of your own tears.
A puddle.
I mean, it can't. I don't know if it can be 10 because their season's not completely over. It's not like they're not winning a single game. But when it comes to Super Bowl expectations and winning it all or making any deep type of playoff run, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an 8. It's pretty over on that standpoint.
Yeah, it's damn near over. We're being optimistic, saying maybe Jake Browning can keep them afloat. It is not an easy schedule. Yeah. It is not a good supporting cast defensively. It is not a good offensive line. There's very little to hope for other than the fact that we one time saw Jake Browning go 4-3. That's the only thing.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And the roster, you could debate now if it's better or worse. I guess the offensive line is a little bit better now, but it's not exactly at that point, we're a few years away from the Super Bowl, a few years removed. I guess there's a little more like, they still got a championship nucleus.
Yeah.
Nobody considers it that anymore.
Yeah.
Not a soul considers it that. Okay. Chicago Bears. Fresh off their second loss, 50-point beatdown.
Oh my God, that right there might be a true 10 for me.
I think it might be like a 12. This might be the saddest fan base in sports. Just how much competency is dangled over their head every year, and they're just like a baby cooing at it, but can't quite grab on.
Sadness is the wrong word, so I'm gonna say 1. This is just like acceptance.
What?
Of just like, because
they know their fate.
Because even during the off season, whenever we've been talking about, like, the Bears that got Ben Johnson.
They're the off-season champions. That's what they usually are.
Exactly. Off-season champs. Bears fans are still like, I gotta see. I've seen this movie before. And so now we're 2 weeks in and things have gone the way that they've gone. And they're like, okay, yeah. I see what the script is. Yeah. I see what it is. My bad. I won't get excited again. It's okay.
Man. You're too much into reality. Too much. You're giving way too much grace on both ends of the floor or field. Again, can't get shit done right.
Where you can be angry. You can be disappointed. Sad is not the word.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it when you got stabbed in the stomach so many times, you start to build calluses. You start to understand that, like,
but what makes it worse is that what makes it worse is that they're getting stabbed through the stomach, but they take the knife and stab themselves. So like, let me help you get it quicker, bro. Like, they don't do themselves any favor.
Yeah. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs off their first 0-2 start of the Mahomes era.
Oh, do you know what other teams are 0-2, bro?
Not the good ones.
Bro, they're all trash. They're all literally in hell. They're all like lottery level teams. They're all garbage.
I'd say
5.
Yeah.
Because it's not a real 0-2 team.
Shit, the standings say 0-2 to me. It feels kind of real. Two losses have been had.
I will get back to you after the Chargers play their game.
Okay, if they go 2-0?
If the Chargers win and the Chargers are 2-0 and the Chiefs are 0-2, then it's going to be like, damn, like, are we in trouble?
Why does the Chargers success?
I need the week to be over. I need the week to be over so that we can fully look at the division standings and then we can say, okay, this is where we are. This is where we are. This is where we need to go. And right now we are 2 games behind the Chargers with a loss to them.
Tough. Panthers.
Yo, man.
I'm gonna say a 7 or 8. Yeah,
I don't got no words.
7 or 8. It's getting real spooky in this
bitch. I'm speechless. I can't say that.
Getting real spooky.
That's it.
I wouldn't even stop being a Panthers. I'd move out of Charlotte. I'd relocate if I was a Panthers fan.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the next story. Let's talk about the second game we have to talk about today as we go through our biggest headlines of week 2. Donovan, tell me about the Eagles versus the Chiefs.
I mean, it is what it is, 2-0. But I'll tell you this: I'm not happy about it. I'm not satisfied.
You're not satisfied? I wouldn't be either watching that offense.
Man, I'm getting PTSD from 2023 all over again. The offensive play calling is extremely frustrating. Yeah. And so the only good thing about Jalen Hurts having 101 passing yards yesterday is the fact that we got the clip of Chris Jones saying, you didn't even have 100 yards passing, and Jalen saying, we won the game, shut up. That's the best part about it. Outside of that, everybody else on offensively looks miserable. AJ Brown looks upset. Devonta looks upset. Jalen Hurts is out here arguing with Sirianni because they're not getting the play call in time. People are having miscues and false starts on the offensive line. Offensively, the Eagles are exactly where they were a year ago, 2 years ago in 2023. And this is the downside, the one downside. Because generally in the offseason, I've been okay with the way that the Eagles have handled themselves and saying, like, 2024 is its own year and like that's in the past. We're moving forward. This is the downside of thinking like that. You forget the problems that you solved in 2024 and you don't think about any of that. And so then you're just running it back to start 2025. And now we're here with the same problems that we've had for the start of seasons over the last 2 years. And the Eagles sneak out a win against a Chiefs team that defensively in week 1, we were like, oh, this defense is leaking. Like they have issues. And like the Chargers, what did they do? They attacked them through the air. They were throwing crossing routes. They were beating them on play action. And the Eagles said, that's a good game plan. I don't want to do any of that.
None of that, please.
I don't want to do any of that. So like, I'm happy, obviously, that like we beat the Chiefs again and it's 2-0 and awesome. I am frustrated and extremely worried.
I'm glad you mentioned crossing routes. I was going to ask that. Yeah. Is AJ Brown allowed to run a slant? Is he allowed to run a drag? Is that in the rule book?
He can run a slant. That's all they have him run.
Okay.
That's all.
But no deep crossers.
Apparently not. Apparently, he can't run a deep crosser. All Devontae can run is quick little zig routes and slot fades, and that's it. But I am so frustrated with this offense because I think that obviously you have Saquon, you have this offensive line, and offensively the basis of the Eagles offense is we're going to be explosive on the ground, and then when people end up playing up, then we attack them with man coverage, all of this other stuff.
Yeah, I think
that's it. That's not happening, and I feel like it is a complete misconception of how the offense should go because it is truly like an interconnectedness of your run game is great and then the passing game goes, but the passing game is only good because the running game is so good. The Eagles are trying to force the running game and are not respecting themselves enough to actually air it out to then force people to give you the space to run the ball that allows people to come up, that allows you to then throw the ball. You understand? Like that's the issue right now.
Yeah, I think the number one thing I always come back to, I always come back to our first episode where we talked about the every team's offseason, we graded it. And I gave them a bad grade. I don't remember what it was, like a C or D or something, just because, they got worse and there's no real reason to say they got better. And a big thing I harped on was they lost Kellen Moore and no one gives a shit because I think the logic is with Jalen Hurts, you're going to play Jalen Hurts football. You're going to run the ball. You're going to throw goes. You're going to capitulate to his limited skill set and get the best out of him in all the ways that Jalen Hurts can thrive while putting him in the position to do his strengths and not do his weaknesses, right? So the idea was hardly matters who's your OC. I think it matters a lot. I think Kellen Moore is quite good. I think there's a reason he is a head coach for a team that is throwing the ball pretty well right now with Spencer fucking Rattler and Jawan Johnson being the core of their offense. I think Kellen Moore is quite talented. I think he's a big part of why their vertical passing game got so explosive in the year. He is amazing at drawing up vertical passing game. And it just feels like their new OC took away none of those learnings. And he was an internal hire, right?
What's up?
He was an internal hire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was there. He saw what was going on. And I feel like none of the takeaways are there. The lack of explosive down the field is crazy. And there was that one play up the sideline that he threw to Devontae Smith that was a complete fucking prayer. It wasn't even a good throw, and we know Jalen Hurts can make good throws here. We know he does have good accuracy up the sidelines. This was not one of those plays. He was under duress and threw that bitch sky high to the air, and Devontae Smith came back for it, made a great play over, I think, was it over Trent McDuffie? I don't remember. But he made a good play coming back to the ball. That was the extent of their passing offense over 20 yards this game. A fucking prayer where Devontae Smith made a play. There is very little going on that's putting Jalen Hurts in a position to succeed. And not to make it like a Jalen Hurts conversation, he needs to be put in a position to succeed. You have to make his strengths fucking shine. Otherwise, you're going to get all the weaknesses. And I feel like right now, from the first 2 weeks, thank God they're 2-0. Shout out the defense. Shout out Saquon. This does not look like one of the best teams in the NFL.
No,
yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah, I 100% agree. In fact, like it seems like their OC isn't doing anything but helping put more of a spotlight on Jalen Hurts and his weaknesses, and like how people just criticize his game from 82 million different ways, where they talk about his lack of explosiveness and just like creativity and how he doesn't have whatever deep ball and all this other shit. Like, I understand that, it's cool, but thankfully, like you going back to what you said, luckily they have like one of the best defenses in the entire NFL, and luckily, shit, like Andrew Makuba.
Yeah,
he saved their goddamn life, man. Of course, like he did have a play. I forget which quarter it was. Yeah, he ended up getting trucked by Mahomes. Pretty embarrassing. But he then went ahead and pretty much like had a game-saving play, game-saving coordination when it comes to the Travis Kelce play, where he messed up on his own. But of course, Makuba was able to capitalize on that, and from there, he actually played very well throughout the rest of the game. Thankfully, like their front end and back end are still very good, and they have. I feel better about their issues because it's all like mindset, creativity. They have, of course, like we know they lost some juice, but it's all about mindset and just game plan overall. And that comes back to what you said, game planning as a whole compared to like the Chiefs, who have entirely different issues.
Yeah. I guess we talk about the game. So obviously, like obviously, you guys know the Eagles won the game. We're focusing on the Eagles' weaknesses because it shines through the screen.
Yeah.
Chiefs also, they lost for a reason. This was a close game where the Chiefs played Chiefs football, in which they have to, without Worthy, without Rice, with an aging Kelce, with no running game to speak of. I'm getting more and more mad about it as the weeks go on. In the preseason, I was saying they need a fucking running back because Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, not the answer. They have no ability to run horizontally. If you call the stretch run, you call an outside zone, it is a waste of a snap. They will get nowhere. They will not see the hole. Sick of watching that. Their only running game is Mahomes using his legs, which is an outrageous statement to say, and they have no explosive on the outside. They have to do the dink and duck stuff. They have to pray that Thornton allows them to throw the ball deep, and then pray that Patrick Mahomes will hit him. It's a 50-50 chance for both of those things. Overall, that's all a mess, but we knew that's a mess. We knew Worthy wasn't going to play. We knew Rice is out. We've come to expect that from the Chiefs. I did not come to expect the game to be lost because Travis Kelce allows the ball to bounce off his hands and McCool would intercept it.
That's honestly, as Kelce started to age, his hands and his because he's had like some drops and just some bad plays over the last couple of years in some big moments. That's the weirdest part about Travis Kelce aging. Because obviously whenever people get older, you expect for them to get slower. You expect for them not to be able to create as much separation as normal. But Travis Kelce has had multiple instances where the ball is just falling off his hands, or you have the ball in his hands and he's making moves and he might fumble. And it's just weird. It's weird little mistakes, and often, game changing mistakes that Kelce has had over these last couple of years. That's been the weirdest part about all of this, because you feel like Kelce can be like, okay, if the Chiefs really need it, Kelce can dial it up and have one of those games where, he has 9 catches for 120 yards or something like that. I don't know if that's true anymore.
No, it's definitely not true. I don't think anybody should believe that. He's trying hard. He wants to win. He wants to get open every play. I promise you. Like, he's trying as hard as he can every single time. I think obviously we know Mahomes has this like clutch gene that isn't make the right decisions at the end of every game. So we feel like they can always turn it up because we've seen it in the past. We've seen it every playoff run. That does not apply to everybody, and that's not so simple as everybody's attributes get better whenever they just want it more. Not really how it works. You mentioned it's surprising that Kelce is missing these catches that he would normally make, and that doesn't necessarily come to the surface as a skill set that should age poorly. I think Kelce's whole thing is that he's always open. He's extremely crafty, is always slightly faster, slightly smarter than his defenders, gets to a slightly easier position to catch the ball and make a play up the field. When you're a little bit slower and you just can't quite get the separation, those catches suddenly go from wide open because you're incredibly skilled at getting open to bang, bang plays. And you got to turn your head real fast because you're getting to the spot a little bit slower. Like, I think it all kind of cascades with the fact that he's never been some like contested catch artist catching high pointing passes over people. That's not his game. It's getting open And he's a little bit worse at getting open now.
Yeah, but even the ball where he tipped it, like it wasn't like somebody was like Makubu was obviously close enough to get the pick. But he wasn't like draped all
for sure.
All over.
Yeah,
like that's something where even now, you tell any tight end, right, any pass catching tight end in that situation, you have to come down with the ball like that.
Sure, yeah,
like that just has to be a catch. And so like that's the weird part on Kelsey's part. We kind of talked about it last week when we were joking around with the Madden rating about Mahomes. Some of these deep passes were like just off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's like I'm finally at the point where I'm like, okay, Madden, like I can understand why you are actually like docking it, but I still ultimately think that in terms of consistency of deep passing, that is a product of we just don't have the guys around us.
Yeah.
But there's still some throws that he could have made to Thornton.
For sure. There's that one
there.
egregious one of Thornton that I think if you go back and watch it wasn't entirely his fault. Like he could have made it, but it was a play whenever Thornton ran a back corner route that the corner that was defending him ran into the safety and they fell, and that messed up the whole entire timing of the route. Thornton got open faster than he was supposed to, so he cut up field because he was wide open. And I think that little miscommunication of the defense breaking, I kind of understand why that got sailed a little bit because the timing got fucked up. Now, he should have like noticed that and like thrown it to him because he's wide open. So both can be true. I'll give him a little bit of grace there, especially because the next deep ball he threw a fucking dart down the field to the touchdown for Thornton. So I think on that specific one that everyone highlights wasn't terrible. But yeah, he's like 50% on these for the past 2 years. So it is something.
Also, the cornerback who ran into Blankenship, you know who it was? Adoree.
Naturally.
Nice.
So yeah. But yeah, so I guess like on the Chiefs aspect of it, and obviously as a Eagles fan, like the most frustrating part about all of it was that they can't run the ball and Mahomes was still able to scramble. Mahomes was still able to find these lanes to really backpack this offense. And this is as much of an offensive load that he's had to carry.
Backpacking feels like, I feel like that's even too much of a gracious like word to go ahead and give these guys. I feel like he's holding this offense with just like duct tape pins and a couple needles and threads.
Yeah.
It's like that junky and they're like that depleted off of all their offensive weapons. Of course, like you said, they have no real running back, no consistent running game to establish at all. Travis Kelce is this big age and there's only so much you can expect out of him. Although you want to like empower him to do certain things, you're missing your top two, your wide receiver 1 and your wide receiver 2, which is damning, bro. And then your defense is what it is at this point in time. There's like, if this was like the Mahomes of the past, like 2021 or 2022, whatever, I'm sure they figure out a way, weasel out a way like he usually always did to come out with a win.
This is Mahomes of the past, though. He's not any different. That's the hard part. Like, this is Mahomes of the past, but that Mahomes of the past had so much more competent infrastructure.
Maybe that's it. Exactly.
Also, like the Mahomes of the past, like they're 0-2. Like this is different. Now, the Ravens were 0-2 last year, and they obviously still made the playoffs. It's still 100% possible.
No, they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs. We don't gotta. It's not just possible. They're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna doubt it, right?
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like to be in this whole, it's not like, especially in a 17 game season, it's not foreign that we've seen teams of this caliber, or teams that we thought to be of a certain caliber go down 0-2. So like it just happened last year. We'll see what happens with them.
Speaking of teams of this caliber, let's talk about the Thursday night game that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet. The Green Bay Packers faced off against the Commanders, and my God, did the Green Bay Packers once again lay belt to ass against a team that's expected to be a good upper tier playoff team. The Packers dominated them off the back of Tucker Kraft having an absolute legacy breakout game as a newly minted elite top 5, top 3, whatever number you want to throw in it, tight end in the NFL. 124 yards, 74 yards after catch. He was unguardable. Amazing game from the Packers. I left this game thinking, oh, this team's winning the goddamn Super Bowl. They're like, let it be clear, this is the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, and I had to, like, on one hand, I was thinking the exact same thing as you. It was like, yes, the Packers are amazing, and as somebody who was already high on the Packers before they got Micah, and then they got Micah, you see, oh my goodness, every single play Micah Parsons jumped off the screen. His get off is better than anybody else's in the league. It feels like he's just playing on a lower difficulty than everybody else. And so like that was on one hand. On the other hand is like I still have to temper just slightly because this is something that we could have predicted for Washington, which is they're the oldest team in the NFL. Had somebody blow their Achilles out in this game. We knew that the offensive line, yes, you went and
my fantasy team. Oh man,
trust.
Eckler was Mo's running back one on his fantasy team.
Austin Eckler is crazy, but like for the Commanders, we knew that their defense was going to be shaky. We knew that even though that they traded for Laramie Tunsil, the offensive line was still a work in progress. We saw week one what was happening to Josh Connolly, and then we said, oh, now you have to go up and reprove yourself against Micah Parsons. I don't know how that's going to work for you, buddy. So Green Bay was in control of this game the entire time, and the operation looked smooth and they look great. I wonder if there's like one more level that they can get to where I'm like, okay, yes, they like hands down are Super Bowl favorites. That's why I'm looking at them right now. Where I still would take.
What end of the field is that Ravens, level that they need to prove to you as an offense?
Well, really what it means is Jordan Love has to not miss those deep balls to Matthew Golden because those are touchdowns. Like, which to me, that's such a small margin. Jordan Love's going to miss throws, going to make throws. He's, I don't want to say inconsistent, but he tries a lot of difficult throws. Sometimes they land, sometimes they don't. He's a guy with flashes of brilliance, but some rough parts around the edges. Otherwise, he'd be Mahomes. But yeah, that's the only difference to me. That is not something that's a back-breaking weakness as a team. And when you know those couple plays are the difference. And you mentioned that like part of it is, we should expect the Commanders. We all thought they were shaky. None of us wanted to consider them a top 10 team. We all thought they were a bit overrated, etc. Yeah, that is true. They are also still a good team. I think we were very hesitant to crown them as a great team off their heels of that championship game run. Yeah. And we were like, slow down. They have their weaknesses. The offensive skill position players aren't quite good enough. The front seven isn't quite good enough. The cornerback room, not quite good enough. We're not going to get too over skis yet, assuming they continue to get better. But they are a good team, and the Packers throttled them. Just like they throttled a good team in week one, I left it with the opposite reaction. I left it thinking all the talk on Twitter about sophomore slump for Jaden Daniels. It's inevitable. It happens to everybody. This team isn't ready because teams have game film on Jaden Daniels now.
You can't pay attention to that Packers game.
I didn't think of anything about that. I watched that game thinking Micah Parsons is having one of the single most dominant games I've seen in the past several years from a player that only had, I think, one sack, or maybe it was 1.5 at the end. Every single play, he was making Jaden Daniels run for his fucking life. It was insanely dominant. I left it watching. Maybe this isn't the best team in the NFL. Maybe offensively, there's teams, especially in the AFC, that we're going to take over them because they have the Superman at quarterback, whether it be the Bills, the Ravens, whatever. But this is damn sure the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah. I'll give you that. And if there was one thing that Kirk Herbstreit was going to let us know, he was going to let us know how, the Commanders didn't have any time and how, the cornerbacks were just able to sit.
100%.
They were able to stay so attached.
That's the deep dive that I went on through this yesterday's Slady or Thursday's Slady games or whatever. Is Keyshawn Nixon.
Yes, he looked amazing.
He looked amazing, and he's fucking eating and feasting. And the effects that Micah Parsons has on the game, not only like pressuring the quarterback and just like having he just genuinely like breaking and bending offenses, that just allows his job to be so much easier, and he could play so much more aggressively and play up front on these receivers that he's faced to cover night in and night out. And I feel like I was looking back on conversation about him in years prior, and he's been good. He never was trash, but to this avail with this system that he's in, along with the elite safety that he has around him as well, it just feels like the perfect system in place for him to go ahead and thrive as like an all-in-your-face, seatbelt strapped type of cornerback.
Yeah, he was the return specialist for a while, and he kind of developed slowly into being a full-time corner, and now he's a full-time outside corner. And I think that's probably a big reason why they're willing to let Jair Alexander go, on top of him being expensive and a little bit washed. They felt good about him being their outside corner, and I think everybody that doubted the cornerback room before they got Micah Parsons weren't wrong. But like you said, getting Micah Parsons and allowing him to defend in these cover two systems this tight to the line of scrimmage and not really have to worry about a deep threat. Look at this. Look how many passes Jaden Daniels had to throw past 15 yards. I count 3 and they were all incomplete. Actually,
Crazy.
That line's there. So there's 6 and 1 was complete.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. He had no time to throw deep. Jaden Daniels is a very good deep ball thrower. Incredibly accurate, will layer the ball where it needs to go, but they had no opportunities whatsoever. Nixon can be incredibly physical. I think we'll see how that continues to develop against teams that are able to neuter their defensive pass rush a little bit. We'll see if those guys can cover one-on-one against like top tier weapons groups. Like if they face an AJ Brown and Devontae, well, assuming that offense learns to throw the ball again. But when they face defense like that, an offense like that have great tackles and great receivers, I'm curious how that cornerback room holds up. But yeah, right now, Nixon and Nate Hobbs have been completely fine.
Yeah.
Man, it's also, and I saw somebody tweeted, they posted a video of Jordan Love just throwing the ball deep, and they're like, he's bringing quarterbacking back. Because, man, whatever the Green Bay's doing, I'll pay you $20 million to come to Philly, to come to Philadelphia. It really is refreshing.
Yeah.
Because, like,
dude, you watch nasty football,
bro,
man.
Looking at everything that Green Bay does, and this was also like one of the conversations where none of their receivers are great, and we all thought that Matthew Golden, he's coming in, first round receiver. You think that he's gonna have a very big impact and going to be able to be that receiver to take the top off the defense. Yes, he did have a couple moments. Those weren't completed passes, but outside of those two times, they're not really like throwing the ball to Matthew Golden every single play, and really were like force feeding him as this like number one receiver that's going to change everything. They have everybody else, and so like Tucker Kraft, very good. Jaden Reed, who got hurt, still very good. Like you have a lot of really, really good receivers, and so the fact that you still don't have a dominant number one receiver, and you're able to have your offense look like this, I do feel amazing about them.
Yeah, and they don't even need that. Like when we did our Breakout Stars of the Year episode, I picked Tucker Kraft for the tight end just because with Golden, like you said, they use him as a deep threat. He has real gravity. Like those plays were almost 80-yard touchdowns. I guarantee you, whatever DCs they face in coming weeks, we'll watch it on film and say, that will be an 80-yard touchdown if that happens again. Like they won't miss that every time. That ability to stretch the field. Matt LaFleur is amazing at drawing vertical concepts, and Tucker Kraft is incredible operating in these underneath areas as a blocker, leaking out, strong, physical tight end. Looks like baby Gronk out there. He plays the exact same way. That is their like go-to player now, that they have these guys to stretch the field. Then you have, if they're running these to cover two to not let you get beat deep, Josh Jacobs, 5 yards of carry. Tucker Kraft, open on the drags every play. Like that, just like geometry they play with now on the inside and deep is incredibly tough to deal with. I don't even give a fuck if they ever get a go-to receiver. If Matt LaFleur is drawing up these offensive plays and they have the three guys I mentioned, their offense is going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, I agree. I think all this game proved to me is that, of course, naturally, the Packers are indeed Super Bowl contenders, the truest of them all. And the Commanders are clearly, I don't know if they're a tier below, maybe 2 tiers below, but they're just not in the same air at all.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. Like we mentioned earlier, Austin Eckler, done for the season.
Yeah.
At his age, I can only assume in like done.
Yeah,
like, he's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
We'll see if Mr. Bill Krosky-Merritt is ready to be the running back one. He will have to be. Kind of ironic that they trade away Brian Robinson because they have the depth to afford not having him there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now it's like, oh shit, wish they had a Brian Robinson here to help spell Bill. But Bill, Chris Rodriguez, and McNichols will be the running back trio. We'll see how that goes. I like Bill. I don't know if I like him, Chris Rodriguez, and McNichols as the running back group.
You got to give people a chance, and that's what they're gonna have.
Yeah, hopefully Bill is that guy, which I think he could be, but we'll see. But we mentioned that Green Bay is clearly the team to beat out there. They are a different animal and the same beast. Completely neutered the Commanders' offense. I now want to talk about the team that got neutered by the Packers' defense a week ago. That scared a lot of us. The Detroit Lions face off against Chicago Bears, and wow, did they look exactly like they looked last year. The Lions are back. Who would have thought, if you're not facing the best defense in the NFL with 3 new interior offensive linemen in different positions, who would have thought that you look better once you get a little more reps under your belt?
They're still back.
Yeah. They killed Chicago.
They did.
And murdered.
And it was very, very, very refreshing because all week it's like, if Detroit, if they can't run the ball, Jared Goff, he can't do anything. Jared Goff said, I'm going to turn my back and I'm going to rifle passes across the middle. And we are going to be who we are. And so you saw Detroit be able to run the ball. You saw the play action working. You saw Jared Goff be able to stand in and throw bombs anywhere and everywhere that he wanted to. And so they looked as complete as they have in a long time. And it we've seen explosive performances from the Lions. It's also been a while since we've had their defense fully healthy, because last year everybody on the defense got hurt.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see them at home in this spot with their backs against the wall, and they come out and they drop 50, and everybody's working together. Like, it's awesome.
The question with Jared Goff wasn't like, is Jared Goff good? It was, we know Jared Goff is limited mobility wise. He's not like, he'll try to roll out. He'll try to make some plays with his legs. He's just slow and like can't do a whole lot there. The question was, if you don't have a good running game because your interior offensive line is a fucking disaster like it was in week 1, Graham Glasgow is defending, blocking the wrong people because he never played center before. Tate Ratledge getting blown up because he's a rookie and never played NFL players before. If this is going to continue to happen, and you're going to get 2 yards per carry like they did in week 1, is that going to be a cascading effect that leads it so Jared Goff suddenly has way more pressure than he can handle? Or are we going to see it be like it has been for the entire Lions tenure, where they do a good job of taking away that burden from him? He doesn't got to make guys miss, doesn't got to drop back 3rd and 20 and make crazy reads. He can layer the ball off play action on these crossers and do everything he can because the run game is successful. We build off of that. All of that happened this week. The run game is back, and that made everything feel good. Their offensive line performed a million times better, probably because Micah Parsons wasn't there. That interior defensive line wasn't there. Edgerrin Cooper wasn't there. They faced a normal defense that is good but not amazing, and they fixed the miscommunications with Graham Glasgow at center. They looked exactly like the Lions offense should look.
Dude, do you know how sick I would be to my fucking stomach if I was a Chicago Bear fan, if I was a Ben Johnson, like, truther? Of course, like, naturally, your second game of the year, there's going to be, everyone knew that there was going to be some growing pains with how complex your offense and the schematics you have are ran. But to get your teeth kicked in by fucking 31 is nasty work.
Yep.
Like, on both ends of the floor or field, you can't do shit right. And for, again, let me stay on the Lions.
No, let's move on. Let's move on. Go for it.
For the Chicago Bears to not do anything right except for Caleb. I think Caleb didn't have like necessarily a terrible game. This loss is not like 100% on him at all. I think it's about like everything else that's happening around him, which really got like exposed. Their defense is so putrid. They can't do jack shit right. This honestly, like, did you see JJ McCarthy last night? The Falcons defense ain't even all that. Like, he was so meh. I'm all over the place right now, but this is genuinely puts like a even bigger spotlight on the Chicago Bears and how cooked they are truly on all ends, because you're asking someone like Caleb Williams to like be a superstar quarterback to pull you back from certain types of defensive lapses and be able to like put you in shootout situations, which he's not necessarily that. And then also on top of that too, you don't necessarily have the run game because DeAndre Swift is like, he likes to run into people and he can't find holes. He just has a magnet to like chess for some reason.
He loves chess.
Yeah, he loves chess man. So it's like, how can you expect someone like Caleb Williams to be able to uphold and uplift this organization when he's trying to figure shit out himself?
Okay, so Lions are back. They are who we thought they were. Montgomery, Gibbs look great. Amon-Ra, insane game, 3 touchdowns. J-Mo got the big play. They're fine. They're completely fine. The Bears are completely not fine for everything you just said. Yeah, Caleb didn't play amazing, but Caleb didn't play that bad. It was fine. I went back and watched all 22. He was fine. He missed some throws. He's continuing to do the learning curve stuff. He had a terrible pick in which he rolled out. He had a crazy navigation of the pocket, making Aiden Hutchinson miss on an open sack.
Yes.
And then tries to throw it out of bounds and didn't put quite enough air on it. And Kirby Joseph ran back and tracked that bitch like a wide receiver and dove and intercepted it. That was bad. Just throw it out of bounds. Take the sack. Obviously, that's a young player mistake that the right idea was there. He almost made the crazy play. Not quite enough gusto on the arm talent to get it there. That's a Caleb Williams play. Outside of that, him and Rome played pretty well. It felt like they were the only ones that came to play today. They had one drive in the second half where the connection was just crazy. They just walked down the Lions defense and scored a touchdown. I felt good about Rome despite the 2 drops. This is his offense. The ball runs through him, as all the beat writers said, and Caleb Williams was solid. Still ways to go. Outside of that, this roster, oh my God, they have so many more holes than expected. Yeah. And that's the biggest takeaway is we all picked them to be 4th in the division. None of us said they're going to have any chance of making the playoffs or anything like that. But it was always like, well, if Ben Johnson is good right away and if Caleb makes a leap right away, we could see them maybe shocking us and getting into that wild card race if it goes well for them. You know, because they have all these other areas where we know they have premier talent. We know they have elite DBs. They address the offensive line. The weapons room is deep, etc. If Caleb and Ben are ready, maybe they shock us, right? There is a ceiling there. Even if those guys are really good right now, this roster, the strengths are what we thought they were. They have the DBs, albeit they're not healthy right now. They have to line the weapons. Everything around that, the connective tissue of this roster is dog shit. Ryan Poles is the whole talk on Twitter that he's one of the worst talent evaluators in the NFL, that is correct. That is gracious. He is the worst talent evaluator in the NFL.
Why the fuck would you draft someone like Colston Loveland? I put him on my team because I thought he was going to be good. He gets no targets. He gets no looks. I'm cooked because of you. Not him, but goddamn, why are you using him?
Yeah, well, that's the one I understand because rookie tight ends take some time to get going historically. But outside of that, Colston Loveland, top 10 pick, isn't being utilized entirely.
Why draft him?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of understand that ish. Luther Burden, second round pick, not being utilized. Okay, you have a deep wide receiver room. I understand that ish. You draft Ozzie Trapillo in the second round. He is an inactive, healthy scratch. I understand that because they drafted a developmental tackle there. You're not going to start in week 1. Why the fuck did you draft a developmental tackle when you need to win now? They have Shamar, the other defensive tackle, not playing. Why did you draft a developmental defensive tackle when you need to win now? They have a pick from last year whose name was escaping me, another second round pick, healthy scratch. Why are you drafting all these developmental players that are so far away from winning when you have so many holes that need to be filled on your roster? All the connective tissue is terrible. Ryan Poles is terrible. It doesn't matter how much star power they have or how good Ben Johnson is or how good Caleb Williams gets in weeks to come or how ready to win Rome is. Everything around that sucks. The running back room sucks. The defensive line sucks. The linebacker room is expensive and sucks. Man, there's so many problems with this team right now.
Let's do this right from now on. Unless the Bears win 9-8, let's not use them and win now in the same conversation.
That's what I'm saying. They need to, when I say win now, I mean be competent now. I don't mean like make a deep run now. I mean no longer be garbage now.
And I'm saying this team has been bad,
and that's why they win now.
No, but it's not being competent. Like if you go and you know that you had the number 1 overall pick, you brought in a new coach. Clearly, you are far away from where you thought you were going to be. So I think in the Bears' mind, they might be looking at this as a little bit more of a process than everybody else is.
No, they're not. Dude, they talk so much. I promise you, they are not. I promise you. I swear to you, they do not view it long term.
There was a back and forth all offseason where they're like, we're gonna come in and you know Ben Johnson, he's at the press conference. He's like, I can't wait to beat Matt LaFleur, this and that. And so you have that. And then as the rest of the offseason goes on, then we start talking about, it's going to take some time and we should temper some expectations and this and that. I think like this team in the roster obviously is not good. Coaching wise, this team is soft. And I say soft not in like in a mental way.
Yeah.
Because and people have made jokes about this, but it actually is extremely true. The moment those 15 plays are up, the moment anything like wild happens, this team is over. Like you saw in week 1, they missed that field goal and all the momentum that they thought that they had going into half and doing all this stuff. It goes away, and then you come out in the second half and you aren't able to rebound. In this game, you had a weird situation towards the end of the first half where Tesla catches it and you goes out of bounds and all that stuff, and they were in that game, but that weirdness happens. The Lions score on it. You come out of half. It's still a very manageable game to where you can be in there. And then you get to the second half and you get 50 put up on you. They don't know, and they are not able to respond to anything wild happening that's not on the script of the first 15 games.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Or the first 15 plays.
I in the second quarter, I went back and watched into these notes because it was a fascinating example of completely losing the momentum you have. The start of the game was good.
Yeah.
They started the game scoring.
Going band for band.
They were going band for band. It was 14-7, and the Bears had the ball back. Both teams had scored on their first 3 drives. It was going well. The run blocking looked really good. Swift had wide open holes to hit, and he was hitting them. They started off really well, and then Swift fumbles in that drive. That was the cascading effect that started it. That happens. The Lions get the ball back, but they don't score. So the Bears have another chance to come back and once again tied the game up, keep the shootout going. You miss out on a drive, they miss out on a drive. It's fine.
They get the ball back, and it's a Rome touchdown, right? On that one,
Not yet.
After they hold the Lions?
So after they hold the Lions, they come back and they get to 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1, and they try 2 straight QB sneaks and don't get either of them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you can quibble with whether or not that's a good decision or not. Yeah. It didn't work. It didn't get any momentum. It's easy to look back in hindsight and say maybe you should try something a little more creative than 2 QB sneaks. Mm-hmm. The next drive, they get the ball back. They had 2 straight penalties to get to 2nd and 32. After one of those penalties was a good throw to Rome, didn't matter, got negated. 2nd and 32, that's the play where he rolls out, makes Hutchinson miss, tries to throw it away. Kirby Joseph gets an interception. So in 3 drives now, after starting band for band, we have a fumble. We have 2 failed QB sneaks and an interception on 2nd and 32 when Caleb had to make something out of nothing because it's 2nd and 32.
Yeah.
And then from there forth, it just continued to go. Then Detroit came back and scored, went up 21-7. Then they really had no ability to make their lead anything shorter than 14 for the rest of the game. Those 3 drives ruined the game for them. They had no chance of coming back after that.
Yeah, so it's extremely frustrating. Obviously, whenever you see stuff like that, that is where you 100% are going to point to coaching and say like this is just the operation of things is not going well. And so maybe you could look at it 2 ways. One way you can look and say, Ben Johnson is not meshing with this current group of players, but once you get another full offseason where you are getting another draft class, you're getting more free agents that buy into whatever he's trying to build, then maybe you could do that. Or you could look at it and say Ben Johnson's just not ready. Period. Like again, I'm not saying that, but you can. Those are like the 2 schools of thought that you can have. Either way, the coaching and the preparation and the mental fortitude and the ability to like bounce back and have adjustments and all those things, that's not happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's other schools of thought you can do, and the other school of thought is his roster fucking sucks. And obviously, the coach and the quarterback need time to mesh more than 2 weeks. But even if it does mesh, like it's being held back by the roster fucking sucking. So I'm not even ready to make any type of like mental fortitude declaration yet. I think it is just like the players aren't quite fucking good enough.
The only takeaway that I'm having and like I feel like I can be pretty confident in stamping my flag in is I think Odunze is probably going to be wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
And that's the only takeaway that I have. And it's pretty interesting considering they gave DJ Moore a contract extension, last year?
2 years ago. Yeah. Well, year before last year. So summer of 2024? Yeah, before last season.
Okay. Yeah. And he's going to be making, I think, like $27 million next year, that's a lot of fucking money. But other than that, like that's the only stamp that I can make after this game. And I'm like, okay, this is, I guess, a positive.
Yeah, the defensive line needs to be better. That's so we're talking about the offense. It started off well. They lost the game because defensively they couldn't do anything. Kyler Gordon's hurt. Jalen Johnson hurt, played through it, but he's not 100%. Clearly, those are their 2 best defenders. They have a brilliant secondary when they're healthy because those 2 guys are incredible. Their defensive line, not good enough. Their interior defensive line, especially, is a black hole of talent that has been addressed via draft, and those players aren't playing. Their best edge rusher is Montez Sweat, who is probably the 37th best edge rusher in the NFL. He is fine, a solid player to have. Should not be your only source of edge pressure. Their defensive line is terrible. That was a part that was completely glossed over in the whole idea of them being solid. If Ben Johnson's good, is I think the defense was supposed to be pretty good off the strength of that secondary, and off the strength they have 2 expensive linebackers. The defensive line is nowhere near good enough for that to really matter.
I have to look up. So the Bears are 0-2 right now. And their next 4 games at home for Dallas, on the road against Las Vegas, on the road against the Commanders.
Dude, Dallas might put up 60 against them.
And at home against the Saints.
Okay. If Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are both back, I think they can beat Dallas. We'll see.
I don't know.
No, it's a big deal that Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson aren't whole. That's a huge deal.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Even if they are back. Listen, man, the way that Dallas' offense is looking.
They hooping.
If CD's listen,
that's how y'all feel for the last game. The first half of the last game was bad.
If CD's and then they put up 40 points. Like if CD's catching passes, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Like they are awesome. And you saw yesterday in the Giants game as well. Like George Pickens was doing George Pickens things, and so having those 2 guys there and Dak throwing the ball like 50 times a game, it's going to put a lot of pressure on teams. And so I think like unless you have I don't know, unless you have like 2 all-pros back there or this amazing defense, which Dallas doesn't have, you are like that game has the potential to be another like 40-37 game if Chicago's
not going to score no 37 points.
40, 37?
Dallas' defense is not great. And so if there was ever a time that you were going to come out here and score 30 points, it should be.
You're right.
It should be.
Because it's the worst defense they're facing.
Yeah, it should be in a game like Dallas. We'll see what that looks like. But
let's talk about that. Dallas versus Giants. Like you mentioned, 40-37 final score. You highlighted the Dallas offense got moving in the second half. They did what we thought they'd do, throwing the ball 1,000 times, like you said. Same reason everybody was got to get Dak in fantasy, got to get CD in fantasy. No defense. They will throw the ball nonstop. Only other headline I want to mention briefly, Javonte Williams is back. Javonte Williams looks like his pre-injury self. He's been playing fantastic. He is their starting running back. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, outside of giving Javonte Williams his flowers and briefly mentioning the winning team in the Cowboys, who won a game that they're supposed to win in a fashion that they're probably supposed to win it being a shootout. That's going to be their MO.
No. There is
I'm not
no
done.
world.
I'm not
no
done.
world.
The surprising part, like you're about to say, is that Russell Wilson led a 37-point offense in 2025.
Ugg still got it.
Ugg had it today. I don't know if he still got it. He had it that day for sure. The amount of big plays they threw to Malik Neighbors, covered his eyes, Malik Neighbors down there somewhere, worked insanely well. This is one of the most productive games of Russell Wilson's career.
The Neighbors touchdown at the end of the game, it was appalling to see and just so shocking because not only is it like, okay, he can't even see you're about to lose to Russell Wilson at home after he gave up 37. This is the second deep ball that they tried on that drive. You know that they need a touchdown to win. Russ tried a deep ball to Neighbors earlier in that drive and it did not connect. And the fact that you were still able to get beat by Malik Neighbors in this situation on the same drive is absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. Like, this defense is not good.
Yeah, also Malik Neighbors is like top 5 receiver in the NFL.
It's like that, but
yeah.
The first catch, it was like a diving back catch that he caught, falling backwards, jumping. This one I just showed was impressive.
This ball's crazy.
His ball tracking over 2 defenders, incredible. The first one was better. This is an insane... Malik Neighbors is insane. Like, if you play Dynasty football, this is the wide receiver 1 to have in terms of his age and his ceiling, where he's already at. This is the most promising receiver in the NFL.
Saved my ass.
Congratulations. We're not in Dynasty.
I know. You don't get him next year, buddy. But yeah, Malik Neighbors truly is one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah. And so for the Giants, like, for Russ, and then had this entire great day, and then interception. And then you're like, damn, Russ. Like,
yeah,
it happened again.
This was I guess for the New York Giants and the trajectory that everyone thought they were going to be headed towards. Everyone knew that their strength was going to be defense, or at least it was supposed to be.
The line specifically.
Yeah, your defensive line specifically. And like, it wasn't obviously at all. Like, shout out to Marcus Bowe, great player. He had a
Mbow.
Yeah.
Mbow.
I thought it was just pronounced Bow.
Mbow. MBOW. I think it's Mbow.
Yeah, it's MBOW, but I thought the M was silent.
I've heard people say Mbow, but that was pre-draft process. Maybe people didn't know yet.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right.
Yeah. Elite game, fantastic game, but focusing more so on one of my favorite and like funniest players in the NFL to me is Scatterbo. He is fucking hilarious. I don't know why he just is. I just don't expect.
You know why?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know why?
I guess so. He had a fantastic game. Really established run game. Was running through motherfuckers' faces, bro. He was amazing. He was so consistent in finding. He did so much better job of finding certain angles and holes within the big ass like group that he was in. Mm-hmm. So
someone said the way he plays is CTE maxing.
Damn near, bro.
But yeah, he had one really, really good run to the 1 yard line. Mm-hmm. And yeah, run strong as fuck. I think he's going to continue to have a bigger role as the year goes on, too.
I agree. And the blocking wasn't even like elite for him. And he just somehow continues to find a way to weasel his way.
It's like watching a construction worker play football. It's fantastic.
Or like we used to the linebacker play at pickup games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those videos of Myles Garrett playing basketball whenever he's just dunking everybody.
He's not even good, man.
He's just big and strong. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to the Giants for airing that bitch out, almost winning. It was a good moral victory to see your offense get that type of production against, again, a defense that you'd hope that you get good production against. Being the
It felt like I was watching Jameis. Like,
pretty much.
That was insane. Shout out to Russ.
Yeah, so that was a shootout that went
until he threw the interception, obviously.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about Jacksonville earlier, but we won't even talk about it. It's fine. New England versus Miami. Another quick game to talk about. This is coming off the heels of Miami looking like the worst, most incompetent team in the NFL week 1, and New England looking like a disappointing team given the fact that people were ready to crown them as a wildcard team. Mm-hmm. They both performed pretty goddamn poorly in week 1 for those separate expectations. And I think both of them looked much more what you would think in week 2. Miami looked competent. Their defense, they lost the game on a close one at the end that if Devon Achane doesn't step out of bounds, they probably would have won a shootout. And their defense is so bad, Miami. They let Drake May have the best game of his career, dicing him up. But overall, Miami looked regular. Not as much of a disaster.
Yeah, but that's also... It was bad on both sides because I think for New England, like... On New England side, there was a point, especially towards the end, where they should have locked it up and then they gave up a return touchdown, and Miami takes the lead, and you're like, oh my goodness, is this going to happen? And then Antonio Gibson returns the favor. He gets a return touchdown, kind of settles everything down. But they still are in the process where you're like, are they going to have like good process thing? It still feels like for a Mike Vrabel coach team that they are not completely buttoned up. And I feel like the competency that you would think that they would have it's still not all the way there. And the main thing that I'm thinking about whenever I say that is the decision at the end of the game where it's fourth down and like you have to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to go for it? Do you want to punt? Do you want to kick a field goal? And I don't know if they necessarily are super like confident in what they're doing in late game situations. And so I'm right now, I don't have really anything a lot to say about the Patriots as a whole. I'm just curious to see like over the next couple of weeks, like does it start to feel a little bit more like a Mike Vrabel coach team as opposed to, we're 2 weeks in and we're 1-1.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Even during their loss against, who do they face? Was it the not the
Raiders?
Broncos. They faced the Raiders. Yes, they faced the Raiders. They were still, especially towards the end of that game, very questionable things that was done towards the end of that game. I think they were probably too conservative as an offense. And I still have questions here, but needless to say, like this is you take what you can get. Shout out to Drake May, like you said, he had the best game of his career. He was super good in the pocket. He was elite. Well, I won't say elite. He had elite decision making when it comes to not being hesitant on when he should like go ahead and scramble and run off versus like in last week's game, he took a little bit more time processing. You saw the chains kind of getting rusted a little bit, and this time around, it wasn't that at all. And also, your guy, Will Campbell, looked amazing. He looked great. He looked sturdy, super solid wall, and he made his presence for sure like felt. And I think that's something that you wanted to see this upcoming week.
Drake May looked elite. You can use that word. He looked fantastic. He was picking. So okay. He looked fantastic. Keep in mind, the takeaway for the Dolphins is their defensive line, special. Second level of defense, third level of defense, dog shit.
Yeah.
That second level defense is terrible, and Drake May picked it apart like he should. The amount of play action plays they have with tight ends leaking out across the field, running simple drags, attacking the flats, running little shallow crossers through the linebacking core on a play action, those linebackers are confused every time, and Drake May hit them with precision, finding the open men that are attacking those Miami Dolphins linebackers. There's one throw that stood out to me. I think it was a third down I think it was the start of the third quarter. He had a free Bradley Chubb coming on his neck on the left side, makes him miss, and throws a dart up the sideline on a wheel route to Ramondre Stevenson that perfectly landed in the breadbasket for Ramondre up the sideline. I was like, oh yeah, that is why Drake May is going to be a Pro Bowler. His ability to stand within pressure, make somebody miss, and deliver perfect accuracy under pressure. I was like, that's him. On top of the stuff with his legs, like you mentioned, running for a touchdown, just running all over the place. He played as you would hope, which is nice to see because week one, he didn't look rusty is a good word to use. He just looked slightly off in week one. There's a couple of bad accuracy misses, and overall, they were just kind of overwhelmed by a bad defense. That was not the case in this one. They completely exposed a bad defense like they should.
Yeah. Also, in this game, once again, we get to the end of the game. Money drive, Tua throws a pick, and you're just like, oh my goodness, here we go again. It's getting to the point where like I've only felt this way about maybe like one or two other quarterbacks where game on, like the way that we look at Mahomes was like game on the line. I know and I trust Mahomes to get us in the right situation. If I see the Dolphins in a close game and I know there's going to be a drive, I'm like, oh, a pick is on the way.
Yeah.
Like the decision making, and this is so bad. The decision making at times for Tua is insane.
And it's so annoying because I was really happy with the Dolphins offense in his first half, especially really up into the late game situation where this happened. The way they were able to stretch horizontally and make the New England defense run in space was vintage Dolphin stuff. A-Chain dominated this game. A-Chain was putting Robert Spillane in hell. A-Chain running out of the backfield, running these routes with Robert Spillane defending him one-on-one. Complete food. He killed him. They ran all these horizontal runs. They did a great job getting Malik Washington and A-Chain out in space and knowing that they don't have the foot speed on the defensive side for the Patriots to keep up. It was exceptional. Like it looked like Mike McDaniel football. Jalen Waddle got going along the sideline, was able to use that well. They had some big throws to Tyreek Hill, finally. Everything was going well. I felt good at least offensively, about this team being the average ass 8-9 team that we thought they'd be before the season. And then this late game happened, and we're like, oh yeah, if Tua has to create anything that isn't wide open, he is shell shocked.
Yeah. So they're 0-2. It feels like it's not going to be as disastrous as we thought, but still at the same time, it's not going to end well.
You know what felt disastrous to me? This quote where Tua told Tyreek Hill that he needs to get used to underthrows and come back to the ball. He said, "Don't be thinking I'm gonna throw it 80 yards. You better come back to that bitch," which is like true, I guess, but it's hilarious.
Why would you tell us that you told him that?
Tua has been very weird, and I think Dolphins fans are finding him annoying in media as of late.
Yeah.
He is very confident, I should say. Most people would say arrogant and full of himself in the media lately, and has like taken no accountability ever. Like he's been very like weird bravado in the way he's talking, and now he's like justifying his own lack of arm strength. Everyone's just getting slightly sick of it in Dolphins fandom, from what I can see.
Which is like, and like you said, it's okay. Like you do have to know yourself. You do have to know. Like I'm not Mahomes. I'm not gonna put it. 80,
it's a tone,
85 yards. Yeah, because I did watch this clip and I was like, "What? Like that's what you want to tell us?
That's how you want to frame it." It's just like, don't think I'm gonna. He's like, don't think I'm gonna throw 80 yards now. Yeah. Like it was like it's a problem if you outrun me. Like you need to know I'm gonna throw a noodle. So come back. I'm like, that feels a little like.
And it's like I guess, but then it's also making it seem like Tyreek is the issue.
Why are you running so fast, dude? You know I can't do that. Like, why are you like? That's the standard. Like, I feel like owning it and knowing we're gonna have to work these unique angles, come back to the ball and find a way to utilize your speed as like a change up. Like, you can understand that and like own it while also not making it sound like that's the standard. Like that should be what we build our offense around. Like that's not a good thing. It's an okay thing. Yeah, it's just at best.
The overall, I feel like no one outside of like A-Chain, I feel like no single Dolphin fan is a fan of any of these players or the coaches or nothing, bro. I was reading some posts. I forget whether it was like a YouTube comment section or it was on Reddit. Somewhere deep in the weeds, but fans were talking about they can't wait to face the Bills so they can go and lose by like 60. And they hope that they go like 0-700 for the rest of the season so their head coach can be fucking fired, bro. They just hate everything about this team.
Yeah, it's not a great environment.
I mean, I would too.
Speaking of the opposite, let's talking about fans that love everything about their team right now. Let's talk about Colts versus Broncos. Where were you on the day of the Daniel Jones renaissance? On the day that Daniel Jones solidified himself as a competent starter and Shane Steichen solidified himself once again, we already knew this, but it's been a couple of years with the Anthony Richardson experiment. Once again, solidifies himself as one of the best play callers in the NFL.
Danny Dimes.
Shout out Danny Dimes. And like I said, shout out Shane Steichen. I think when this move happened and they benched Anthony Richardson for Daniel Jones, everyone was like, okay, this is to save his job, right? Mm-hmm. He thinks Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback that could execute his offense, and he just thinks Anthony Richardson, with all the talent in the world, with all the ceiling in the world, can't make the plays happen, so it's dead in the water. He knows he'll get fired. Whereas he believes Daniel Jones can get the ball moving, A to B, and we'll keep going. And you can use the brilliance of Shane Steichen to win games with the brilliance of Jonathan Taylor. And we were like, okay, I understand that logic. He does. I'm sure Daniel Jones has a higher floor than Anthony Richardson. But he's Daniel Jones, and we've seen some goddamn low floors from him in the past too. So while it probably is the best option, I'm not necessarily excited about this offense led by Daniel Jones. I just imagine there's so many ways in which it could go poorly with him not being able to push the ball down the field, not being able to deal with pressure. We know who Daniel Jones is after 4 years of tape. I think everything Shane Steichen thought about Daniel Jones and what he saw when he said, this is my floor, good enough quarterback to win, was exactly right. This is the perfect offense to Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Shane Steichen, he got in on the ground floor. And if this was Bitcoin, he'd retire. Yeah, he'd retire.
Well, through 2 games so far, he's looking like he's on a retirement path.
Cash out. Cash out. Because, I mean, Daniel Jones was awesome against pressure in this game. He was awesome against the blitz. And like you look at everything that they're doing, it's like, yo, no turnovers in 2 games when there's always been a quarterback that is like very turnover prone. And for a second, it was Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. He held that for a minute. You've had these quarterbacks where it's like, if we could just get you to stop turning the ball over, whether it be not just interceptions, but fumbling the ball as well. Daniel Jones was a terrible, terrible fumbler in New York. If that's not going to be the case, and you're not going to get the worst turnover player in the league, you 100% can do things. Yeah. And so now you have Daniel Jones not only playing well, but he's able to play so well that Jonathan Taylor can once again be in a competent offense.
He looks amazing.
And so you have that. And this defense is one of the more underrated units in the entire league.
Yeah,
and,
I think
and so yeah, I mean they're trending on an amazing path. And like Shane, listen, man, I miss you. Like, come back to the house. You know, like the
I
kids
think
are
Daniel Jones is exactly good enough to run a Shane Steichen offense. He is not underqualified, not overqualified. He's the exact quarterback that can be perfectly good enough to execute what Shane Steichen wants to do. Because like you mentioned, Daniel Jones is not a player without strengths. Like we've always known, he can run the ball and he's accurate in the short areas. He just can't push the ball down the field whatsoever, can't handle pressure usually particularly well, and overall is just prone to bad decision-making when under duress. So there's always been the slight strengths. We saw the year that Dabble got the best out of him, using his mobility, using him rolling out the pocket and throwing these short passes, keeping the ball chain moving and doing enough to not let him tank your offense. And we've seen plenty of years where that stuff doesn't go super well because the infrastructure isn't in place and all the Daniel Jones negatives come out and tank you. Shane Steichen did a perfect job designing an offense to get those strengths out. Everything Daniel Jones is doing right now is short, within 15 yards, attacking the sticks, attacking outside the numbers mostly. And the Colts offensive supporting cast is perfect for this. Yeah. Michael Pittman will get open in between 5 to 10 yards. He's a big body that knows they get open. We know Josh Downs can do that. Tyler Warren is a mismatch running against linebackers, attacking the sidelines as well. They are able to get the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands so fast that the decision-making isn't that big of a deal because Shane Steichen is drawing up an offense that is easy for Daniel Jones to execute. It's his exact skill set. He's throwing the ball at the top of his drop. The protection is fantastic, so he's really not under pressure that much. It's just a perfect mesh between coach and skill set.
And now, like, and on Denver side, once again, we have another week where things are just not clean. Where like you still have issues and you're 1-1, and you obviously didn't look great against Tennessee. You come in this game, could have like not iced it, but you could have forced the Colts to have to score a touchdown, missed a field goal to go up by 5 towards the end of that. Then you have an opportunity to end the game because the kicker misses the field goal and you get called for a penalty. So
this was hilarious. The fact that they have a 60-yard field goal miss and then a roughing the snapper. I've hardly ever seen that.
Yeah, the leverage thing. Yeah, you can't like push down on somebody and like jump off and like use somebody to jump over the line. And so they get called for that. A 60-yard field goal turns into a 45-yard field goal. They get the second opportunity. They cash it. And so you just feel so much different if you're Denver, if you still like are trying to make sure that this offense can stay on schedule, cannot commit dumb penalties, and allow your defense to actually do good things. Because your defense last week, as bad as Bo Nix was, they still held Tennessee to 12 points. Like they were fine. It's hard to do that against teams that have good defenses themselves and can stop your defense, but also whenever you're talking about coaching differences and schematic differences, going from Callahan offense to a Shane Steichen led offense. So they have to figure out if they can play 60 minutes of an actual game and not turn the ball over and not have special teams miscues and all this stuff. And you know, maybe we can get somewhere. But that was a game where I did feel like Denver really. Like that was a missed opportunity from Denver.
Yeah, I agree. I think some things that I learned about Denver in this game was that one, Bo Nix did Bo Nix things. If I'm gonna give him his flowers for one thing, he does an amazing job at not getting sacked, and he knows how to evade pressure and not let his back touch the ground, which is valuable. You know, like there's a lot of pressure that quarterbacks face, and not being able to get so wild to the point where you have to constantly be getting up is amazing. But one thing that I did feel like is that this game, they just could not for the life of them cover any like dynamic players in the backfield at all. Like this chart right here that you have up on screen for Daniel Jones is hilarious. Shout out to Daniel Jones. But so also just chart. Like, bro, your superpower just got like soaked away and relinquished from you in this game. Yep. Like on pretty much all ends. That backfield looks disgusting. And then also on top of that too, I think what I'm starting to notice and cultivate through Broncos fans and a lot of discussions they've had over last season and this season, that they feel like their Achilles heel defensively is that they do not for the life of them know how to like cover a power scheme run game at all. And so seeing that and with the combination of like what Daniel Jones was able to do with the deep ball was just a recipe for fucking disaster.
Well, yeah, Daniel Jones had one deep ball in this game. It was the opposite. He had 5 targets over 15 yards.
Yeah.
1 for 5. So he threw that one up the sideline on the right side, which was great. But outside of that, look how they peppered him inside of 15 yards, and especially along the sidelines. He did a better job working in the middle of the field this week than he ever does in week 1. But look at that left sideline and look at those 4 on the right sideline. That is Daniel Jones football. They will get the ball to the sidelines fast, and if you can do that and then complement that with, like you said, a power run game at the middle to make it so teams have to really respect that, and you kind of get stretched sideline to sideline and then pound it up the middle. That's just really hard to deal with when Daniel Jones is making decisions as fast as he's making them. Wow. This is the perfect shot chart for him. I mean, shot chart, throw chart. Like nothing down the field. Don't need him to do that. Like the 1 for 5 over 20 yards is not a coincidence. That is Daniel Jones. Just make it so you only throw 5. Everything else is up close to the line of scrimmage.
Shout out to them. Shout out to the Colts.
Do you feel like they can be a wildcard team?
Yeah,
they for sure can.
Yeah, I'd like.
Can or will? Like obviously they can. Are you willing to like think that they're like going to have a good chance?
Now that Joe Burrow's hurt, I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, the AFC's there. Also, we'll see what happens tonight with Tampa and Houston. But if Houston goes down 0-2 in the AFC South, I don't know if I have a lot of faith in the Texans to go on a like massive run that you would then need to do that. But also at the same time, I do want to slow down.
It's only 2 games.
That's what I'm saying. It's 2 games. It's Daniel Jones. We have seen movies like this before. Yeah. So let me calm down. However, if there's like this is literally the best situation that you could be in if you're the Colts or a Colts fan or any of that. So yeah, they could definitely make the playoffs. There were some people that even before the season were talking about the Colts as like a sneaky playoff team.
Yeah, their weapons are with Ty weren't well rounded.
Even outside of that, because their defense was going to be the unit that they were like. They have pieces, and also Shane Steichen's been saying for 2 years, I just need a quarterback. I just need a quarterback. And if Richardson was the guy that everybody wanted him to be, he's probably thinking Super Bowl. But now that you have Daniel Jones, he's like, oh yeah, we can get back to the playoffs.
I don't know what the line is right now. Shane Steichen, Coach of the Year, solid pick. If this continues, if they make the playoffs with Daniel Jones will probably win Comeback Player of the Year, and Shane Steichen to me should get Coach of the Year nods if that's the case. Because this is in part Daniel Jones is playing well, like not to take away from him. Like he is playing better than any of us hoped he could, but it really is to me Shane Steichen maximizing and putting him in the perfect position to succeed.
And guess what? He's the favorite.
He's the favorite now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he should be. He's
the favorite.
This is a coaching masterclass.
Plus 650.
This is like, just look at the shot chart. This isn't Daniel Jones changing his game up.
Shot chart.
I keep saying shot chart. Look at this throw chart. This is not Daniel Jones changing. This is a coach understanding Daniel Jones and getting the best out of him and somehow mitigating the worst out of him.
Facts.
Shout out him. Okay, next game to quickly talk about as we fire through the rest of these. Let's talk about Atlanta versus Minnesota. My God, that was a boring game because it was just a J.J. McCarthy disaster class. I think in week 1, we saw 3 poor quarters, and then fourth quarter of sit up, grab your controller and lock in for J.J. McCarthy to win the game and do just enough offensively. And in this game, he never sat up straight. He was just disaster class the whole game. We saw the brilliance of the Vikings defense holding the Falcons to only field goals for the first 3 quarters, locking them down despite Bijan going crazy. That defense was here to play, but goddamn it, so was Raheem Morris's Atlanta Falcons defense. They looked exceptional.
Yeah, and I saw that game and I was like, damn, the Bears suck.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, damn, you gave up 27 of these guys? Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Dude, J.J. McCarthy was bad.
Yeah.
Like, I've been the first one to say I have faith that I've been high on the Vikings, not because I'm high on J.J. McCarthy, that he's just a question mark. I have no idea of what good he'll be, but their defense is so good. Kevin O'Connell is so smart. The run game is going to be so much improved with Jordan Mason. The offensive line is improved with the signings they made. I've been so high on that. They have so much supporting cast and guy making decisions behind the quarterback that I have faith that if the quarterback's good enough, they'll still be amazing. Kind of similarly to the reason that Shane Steichen is getting the most out of Daniel Jones. The weapons are really good. The defense is good. The play caller is smart. Daniel Jones has been just competent enough to make it happen. J.J. McCarthy has been nowhere near competent.
Yeah. And I think
that whole formula doesn't matter.
And I mean, one of the big differences that you saw in this game as opposed to the first one was like when the Vikings really got going, it was because they were able to run the ball and then be able to operate their offense behind the strength of Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones and being a credible threat in the backfield. Aaron Jones had a hamstring injury in this game. Jordan Mason, 9 carries for 30 yards. Like, they really weren't able to get anything going on the ground. And so you know that obviously like you're still in this very developmental stage for J.J. McCarthy and allowing him to have a run game to fall back on, that's going to be the key for them. Like they're going to have to be a run-centric team. And if that's not the case, McCarthy's not going to be the the quarterback that can lead you to wins at this stage in his career. Obviously, the Bears allowed him to do it, but one of those touchdowns was a JJ McCarthy read option. Like he was able to utilize his legs. That has to be a factor in it. And so there was that aspect of it. One, Bijan is also amazing. And then two, and on the second thing on the Falcons side is like their defense actually looked like, okay, we can get somewhere. Like their pass rush for the first time in a long time. Like everybody was tweeting out the same thing of like Falcons pass rush.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Like that for Atlanta was, I think, the biggest thing in this entire game.
Well, also Christian Darrisaw is still out in the left tackle. So J.J. McCarthy's been bad. Mm-hmm. The offensive line is also pretty fucking bad right now.
Yeah. Someone's hurt on their offensive line as well.
Yeah, Christian Darrisaw is still out recovering from a MCL injury last year. So they had School, I think was his name, as their starting left tackle. Horrible. They brought in somebody else halfway through the game because he got injured, got better. That guy is terrible. So that is something that will help J.J. McCarthy when his star left tackle comes back. That's not a problem. The pass protection was legitimately terrible. But I'm assuming part of that is why Walker and James Pierce both got a sack in this game. Yeah. But the Falcons secondary looks good, man. Xavier Watts looks good. Outside of him getting completely shifted by Jettas at the end of the second quarter to get a field goal, which safeties would get shifted by Jettas. Outside of that play, Xavier Watts looks really good. Bowman looks fantastic as their second corner opposite Alfred. Like that secondary can be legit. Divine Diablo is somebody they signed in free agency. Fantastic run defender. Looks legit. Yeah. That defense does not look bad. Raheem Morris came in as the DC from the Rams last year. He did a lot of the same exotic. They kept talking about on the broadcast. Was doing the same exotic fronts that Brian Flores was doing. They went band for band on crazy front sevens, dropping random people back into coverage.
Yeah. I see that, and I'm so happy for the Falcons. And I know like Arthur Blank and their GM and all that feel so vindicated on their gutsy, ballsy decision on drafting two edges as early as they did and moving the necessary tools to get those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, bro, it's the Vikings offense. This might be one of the worst offense. The run game is obviously good, but I don't know if this is necessarily a good test to showcase like, is their defense like actually legit?
Yeah, we'll see.
Not just yet.
When you blank them out like that, that's usually like you want to see a bad offense get dominated by a good defense, and this was domination. Yeah. So we'll see as weeks go on which side that is. Maybe it's like we saw in week 1, the Lions got blanked out by the Packers. Maybe we'll just come to find out the Falcons have a great defense. We'll see. And maybe JJ McCarthy is fine, but did not look fine week 1, and the Falcons looked exceptional. TBD as the year goes on, because it's not shocking that he's starting off slow. What will be shocking if he's ass in week 7. That's when we'll really know this team is cooked. They're not going anywhere. But right now, it's not looking great. My stock in the Vikings, I'm not selling. I'm holding. You think a principle.
There could be a situation where like their offense is so in the mud because of JJ McCarthy and his constant ability to just like be distracted by the lights. Do you think they'd be in a position to go ahead and like actually try to save their season? Because they have Jettas in his prime. They have Aaron Jones, who still got a lot left to give in the tank. Their defense is, of course, like hellacious, one of the best defenses in the NFL. They have so much ready. They're ready to contend. Do you think they would be in a position to trade for a quarterback midseason? Someone like, I don't know, Kirk Cousins, something like that.
Probably not. It doesn't often work that way. There's just so many moving parts involved there. Like one, Kirk Cousins makes a lot of money. So that's one thing that
very true.
The Falcons would have to be okay with eating that. And at this point, they probably just want the safe backup. And like mid-season for a contender, you don't see that because at that point, like you have to learn the whole playbook. You have to completely change your team midway through. I mean, it's possible. Maybe to go get Jameis Winston or something.
Isn't Carson Wentz on that bench?
Yeah.
Is he the backup?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's possible if they're like legit disaster, like worse than we can imagine. I don't think the floor is that low with Kevin O'Connell, but you never know. If JJ McCarthy is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, that's not impossible. But I don't know. I wouldn't bet on that.
Yeah.
There's so many moving parts that go into that decision.
Yeah.
Like JJ legitimately has to be like Nathan Peterman, where they're like, we made a franchise altering mistake and we can't see this through.
The Peterman.
And I don't know. I feel like he's too talented to write that off after 2 weeks.
Good times.
But we will see.
Okay.
Next one to talk about pretty briefly. Just the last game we're going to talk about today. Seattle versus Pittsburgh. The one thing I learned about the Pittsburgh Steelers this week is they have an atrocious run defense. Everybody gets their rushing get-right game against them. Breece Hall comes out after an offseason of, is he going to lose his job to Braylon Allen? Is he cooked? Is he a one-year wonder? Are we going to trade Breece Hall? Comes out, runs down their throat. Justin Fields has the best game of his career, running down their throat. Next game, we're not going to talk about Justin Fields today. He got hurt. Maybe on Thursday we'll talk about that game. But did not have the same production he had against the Steelers. And then Kenneth Walker comes out week 1, gets less than half the snaps, doesn't have a preseason because he's injured, and comes out and has like 1 yard per carry in week 1 against San Francisco. Kenneth Walker looked like Bijan Robinson rushing against the Steelers today. He ate them alive. There was a drive in the second half where they ran the ball with Kenneth Walker 4 straight times to run it down their throat, and they got to the goal line and threw a play action pass to the tight end. Good old-fashioned run it down your throat football led by Kenneth Walker attacking that weak-ass Pittsburgh Steelers front 7 that no rookie DT alone can fix. Cam Hayward looks old. The rookie DT isn't necessarily the answer week 1. It looks bad. Patrick Queen, what are you doing half these plays? It looks bad.
Do you know how much money the Steelers spent on their defense?
All of it.
$163 million just to get 30 points hung on them on back-to-back games by, I'm not going to say Seattle's a bad offense, but not inspiring offenses.
By Justin Fields and Sam Darnold.
What the fuck?
Players who have shown that they can win games. They have solid starts of the year, at least half the year for Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not exactly a murderer's row of talent. It's not like Lamar's hanging all these points on them.
Yeah.
Listen, man. First of all, it was 24 points. Caleb Johnson made a mistake.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that was bad. But I just it's been a problem for the Steelers for a while, and it's been a small problem compared to who's playing quarterback for this team that we've all been focusing on there, and also in previous years, the defense has been able to hold up, but like from year to year, defenses are so tough to be able to remain dominant and at the top. And so to ask this team to do it again for like the 5th straight year of having the 17th, 18th best quarterback in the league and that type of production, that's extremely rough to ask for them to do. And so now, as the past couple of years have gone on, and the run defense hasn't been there, this is just what's going to happen. And so, like, they had an opportunity to maybe, to force a field goal, to maybe have a puncher's chance at winning that game or tying the game. And then what happens? Kenneth Walker, right, just through everybody and breaks tackles, gets to the end zone, backbreaker. So it's tough for them, but it is what it is. And so you're probably going to see a lot more of this.
Yeah. And shout out to the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, get right game, look dominant. JSN continues through 2 weeks to be one of the best fantasy players you could have because he is getting all the target share in the world. He's just been the go-to receiver, living up to everything you'd hoped for when they got drafted a couple years ago.
True.
Shout out to Torrey Horton Jr. coming out party, scoring a touchdown this game, having a few really good receptions. Hopefully, pushing the car down the path to taking the wide receiver 2 job from Cooper as time goes on. He looked really good. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold again continues to look pretty solid. I thought week 1 he looked good despite the loss. Made a couple mistakes in this game, but overall looked decent. Aaron Rodgers on the other side played horrible under pressure. When he was under pressure, he was 3 for 11, 36 yards.
What's new?
Yeah, he can't move, and it looks like an old man back there. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that Caleb Johnson isn't playing because they need a perfect pass blocker running back out there every single play. Because if pressure gets through, Aaron Rodgers can't make guys miss anymore. Their whole offense was like jump balls this game. It was weird. They had that jump ball touchdown to DK Metcalf, and the next play for the 2-point conversion, they threw a jump ball to Darnell Washington, their fucking tackle that plays tight end.
First of all, man, he looks, bro. When fat kids be playing in little league and they're like 2 years older than everybody else, he looks like
he's massive.
It's ridiculous.
Darnell,
yes.
Yeah.
He's the biggest tight end in the league. He is a tackle playing tight end, tackle that can catch a little bit. So yeah, their offense was. And my main observation was this offense has the least athletic quarterback in the league, one of the least athletic wide receiver cores, and the least athletic running back duo in the league. They have to win with precision.
Well, you're finna get run by. Yeah. So it's tough.
And shout out Jaylen Warren having that crazy 65-yard reception where he broke 2 tackles and juked out like 3 people. Yeah. That was exceptional. But they have to win with precision most plays because they just do not have athletic difference makers outside of DK.
It's not gonna happen. 1-1. What's new? Steelers gonna be at 500. So it's like it looks like it's gonna be an 8-9 year instead of a 9-8.
Shout out to Byron Murphy also on the Seahawks. He's a big part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers was under all this pressure and didn't necessarily look great. He used every single pound that his body has contained, and he is just a constant force who generates so much fucking pressure, creates pressure.
Another pick from our breakout stars of the year's episode.
True.
Okay, and that's all the games we had to talk about today. The next thing we're going to talk about, a couple weeks ago, before the season started, we showed you guys our official house call fantasy football team, or fantasy football league that we drafted, which with a bunch of our other friends that have shows. And we forgot to give you guys the update last week. We told you guys we'd give you a weekly update as the weeks go on. We forgot to do that, and I saw the comments. You guys want to see this. You guys cared about this more than I thought you would, and I appreciate that. So today we're going to give you the update on our fantasy league. We're going to do it every single Monday. This is a fun one because this week me and Donovan played each other. Mm-hmm. After Donovan played Mo last week, beat him down.
I got whopped.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I lost 2 in week 1, but we're here in week 2. Donovan, how did this week go?
Next question.
Damn!
I scored 171 points. Donovan is currently, before the Monday night games, at 79, projected to score 102. Donovan, tell us about your team showing this week.
Once again, next question. Like, where's that to say?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, Gibbs, Tracy, Marvin Harrison, Zay Flowers, Brock Bowers still to play, Josh Downs, Calvin Ridley, and the Texans defense still to play.
Jesus Christ, this is a ass whooping from the heavens, man.
Yeah, I have Puka Nacua and Amon-Ra St. Brown who scored 60 points combined.
Yeah.
So that's always a good way to win. And what's funny is I scored 171. Good on here. I didn't start Tucker Kraft because I am dumb as fuck.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you should have did that. You should have stood on Tucker Kraft being breakout player
I know.
of the year.
I just thought it was a Thursday night game coming off a short week.
Who'd you start him for?
Harold Fannin, who I figured they were going to get their ass whooped. And I figured he would get around 5 receptions. I was hoping he got into the end zone. Yeah. So, like, he's scoring 10. I'm fine with that. I was hoping it was like closer to 15. I just didn't know because the week 1 Tucker Kraft dominated, but only had 9 points, and it was coming off of a short week where I thought they'd beat the shit out of that team and be running a lot, beating the shit out of the Commanders. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, that got cute. So I started fanning, but just know I'm never benching Tucker Kraft again.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble?
I mean, Brock Bowers is scoring 75.
Okay.
It's okay.
You know what's fun? If he scored 70, okay, you would win with 70. Never mind.
Yeah.
But if he scored 30, you would not win.
Did you make any moves to your
Actually,
team?
no, man. You wouldn't win with 70, actually. You're down by 100.
Well, that's because the Texans defense is also going to get 30.
Oh,
okay.
my gosh.
Gotcha.
Did you make any moves to your teams over the last week?
No, I've been patient, been trying to see, what the lay of the land is. And so I've been thinking about some potential moves to offer some guys, but nothing serious right now.
I'm glad you asked. I picked up Baishal Tootin. For some reason, Matthew Sponar dropped Tootin, and the news came out that Tank Bisbee was traded. So I picked up Tootin. I had number 3 in the waiver wire. I got him. Nice little 15 points on the bench.
That is an amazing grab for you.
So between him, Scatabo, Benson, Harvey, one of these guys will be. Oh, and I picked up Trey Franklin off the waiver wire too.
Oh yeah, you
24 points.
Jesus, dude, you ate this week.
My bench is ridiculous right now.
Yeah, you ate this week, man. Holy fuck.
Let's talk about your team. How did your team go, Mo? After we know how your draft went, we know it was a rough week 1. What did we see in week 2 from your team?
He's winning right now.
I did go ahead and look at those odds, man. Only me can do this.
You're currently have a 21% chance of winning. You're up by 5 points, and all Joel Dells has left is Emeka Egbuka.
Yes. And of course, that is a terrible sign for me because Emeka is an ascending fucking superstar in this league. But I will say, I do have Caleb Stroud. What the fuck? CJ Stroud on my side. So
on your bench.
I am praying. So when it comes to players being on the bench, like what difference does that make?
They don't count towards your points.
They don't count towards my points at all. They're just like there for.
This is your first time playing fantasy football.
Yeah, I never played this before.
These top 10 players that are in your starting lineup, you have to pick who to start here. So you get 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, a tight end. You got to pick which ones to play.
So none of these points count on my bench.
No, none of these points count because you bench them. Only your starters' points count. So if you thought CJ Stroud was going to have a better game than Mahomes, you start CJ Stroud and you don't get Mahomes points, and so forth.
Well, thank God my bench is ass because I have no fucking choice. But I guess my bench is irrelevant to completely talk about. But yeah, basically I got cooked by not Colts and Loveland, but their goddamn game plan. And then also I got the terrible news on Thursday that Austin Eckler did indeed like go ahead and blow out his ACL. So that's like very frightening. But shout out to goddamn Malik Neighbors for having the best game of his goddamn career, man, and Russell Wilson coming through. Overall, I feel a lot better about my team. I'm still going to like I need to find another back. I feel decent with Tyler Algier because he's like a very good. He's like a yin to Bijan Robinson's yang. I feel good about him moving forward, and he's like a saving grace for sure. But I need to find another guy. I need another back so dearly. And Drake London cooked me. He fucking absolutely fried me.
5.9 points, fumble lost.
Fumble lost. And like we just really couldn't get anything going because of the Vikings defense, and Michael Penix he was in hell.
Yeah, you should start Brenton Strange instead of Colson Love next week as a rookie tight end. You should start Strange. Yeah, you got to find some running backs, man. Like shout out Dobbs. He caught a touchdown this week, 28 yards. Not necessarily a super reliable flex play. Shout out Coleman, had a great week 1, 3 receptions this time. You need about 3 more good players. So you know what? If Breece Hall gets hurt, Braylon Allen, league winner. Then you'll be good. So shout out if Breece Hall misses games, then you're looking good. Or if Amari Hampton misses games.
Yeah. So again, this is my first time ever playing fantasy, and I understand why people are like go crazy about this shit and they harass players about this shit, bro. Because I almost sent a specific player a very nasty DM, and I stopped and I realized who I was. I will say,
And who are you?
A very noble man. A great Samaritan. That's what I am.
Okay. Stop yourself from being mean to Colson Loveland. Okay.
What I will say also too is that I am now very, very, very proud of myself because through my first ever time in fantasy, I'm not last place. And that's the only thing I could ever ask for. I'm not dead last. Do you know who's dead last on our league right now?
Who?
Kenny Beecham.
In points scored or someone for this week?
This week in general.
Okay.
I guess this
week. Where's Kenny Beecham? Kenny Beecham. No, he has more points than you. He has 113 points.
In standings, that's what I mean.
Well, it's only been 1 week.
Doesn't that count for this week too?
No, not yet. It hasn't updated yet. After this week's over, it'll update and he'll probably be higher than you.
It's okay.
I'm not going to be last place. Let's just leave it at that.
Let's see. For this week, though, you're not going to be the bottom scorer. Carson is projected 190. Is projected 99. Not great, Carson.
Wait, no, aren't you the bottom scorer for this week?
No,
he's projected 102. It's not over yet.
Okay, gotcha. It's not. Yeah.
So far Carson looks like he's gonna be the lowest scorer. What does Carson's team look like? He's got
who's he?
Dak Prescott. Oh, Derrick Henry gave him 2 points. That's tough.
That's hilarious this week. Yeah.
Ashton Genty hasn't played yet. Jacoby Myers hasn't played yet. Tyreek Hill, Laporta gave him 5. Breece Hall gave him 5. Jerry Jeudy gave him 9.
Jeez.
So we'll see. Maybe if Ashton Genty has a big game, he won't finish last, and we'll be Donovan.
Yeah.
Or it could be you. Donovan still has a chance to pass you up.
God.
It might not happen. This is probably not going to happen.
So that's our fantasy league. By the end of this week, me and Donovan will do 1-1. Mo will be nice little 0-2.
I mean, I might be 2-0.
Not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The Brock Bowers 70-point game is coming.
Try to tell you.
And the highest scoring defense of the last 2 years is coming.
Don't say I didn't tell you.
Okay. So with that being said, that is the end of our fantasy football recap for this week. It is now time for TikTok time.
We march. We move. We trot.
It is time for us to have a little bit of TikTok time. We're going to play a little game.
What?
We're going to talk about NFL.
Man, pull the TikTok up, man. Stop whispering.
First thing that we're going to do today, to start off this episode of TikTok Time, in our Week 2 recap episode, we are going to finish our NFL logos tier list from last week.
Okay, let's do it.
So if you guys saw last week, we did a tier list of NFL logos in which you put every single AFC team's logo into a tier list. And here it is. This is what we did from last week. Today, we're going to finish this off by putting all the NFC teams in here so we get a full lay of the land of how good every team in the league's logo is.
Okay.
Where do we start?
So let's start off with the Dallas Cowboys. What do you guys want to do with the famous star?
S tier.
It's got to be off of just history.
Yeah.
It's
that starts with $12 billion. Like we gotta put it in S tier.
Well, okay, are we leaning? So obviously, it's a combination of like history and how cool it is versus how like actually nice the logo is. Is there any argument for A tier, or is it also dope looking?
It's also dope looking.
Okay, it's just a great logo all around.
They got it.
Looks good on a helmet. Good colors. All right, you got the branding wars.
Facts.
Not much else in the court, but you do have this going for you.
This is what they die about, bro.
I know.
It's an S.
Okay, so listen, solid start there. This is another historical one that I'm curious how you guys feel about it. The Green Bay Packers.
I think it's an A.
Every high school team in America has a G name.
And
steals this logo.
And that's why I kind of want to put it in S, but also like for just a single letter, it's not bad.
It's fine, I think. I don't know. There's so much history to it. But every time I see it outside the Packers, and I see like Grambling State takes it and all these high schools take it, I'm like, I don't like it when it's not in the NFL, when it's not on Jordan Love's helmet.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe they should be S for almost legacy reasons, but genuinely no, it's not as sleek as any of the ones in S tier. So I think I'd give it an A. I give it an A.
Yeah, I feel like A or B. I don't feel like it's that nice. I mean, it is historical, which is why they never changed it, which I guess we factor in some way.
Yeah.
But to me, I like all the S tier logos more.
Maybe it should be B actually, because I don't think it's better than the Ravens logo.
I also don't think it's better than the Ravens logo.
All right, then let's go B then.
But it is iconic.
Yeah.
We gave
Who cares? We're talking about swag right now.
like the only reason why the Cowboys gets to be S because it's iconic is because it's like the most iconic.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can only hand out one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals. The newest bird on our list.
This is a bitch ass bird. This bird is not scary at all.
I think it's a decent bird.
This is a terrible bird.
The colors look good. I like the black eye on it. It makes the yellow and the beak look good. And the red.
But it's one of the worst birds in the league.
It is genuinely like
Listen, this is a league full of good birds. I'm not going to hold the competition against them.
But this is the most bitch-made bird ever.
Yeah,
like, you're not scared of this bird.
Oh, I've seen more bitch-made birds. You don't got to act like this is the weakest bird of all time.
It might be the weakest bird of all time.
I think C. I think C for them.
Fine. Okay. C's fair. That's what I was thinking too.
It's not a good bird.
Okay. Speaking of another bird, Philadelphia Eagles. Is this a better bird?
Yeah, it's definitely a better bird. I think
it's a great bird.
It's either the first or second best bird in the league. So I'm going A tier minimum.
Competing with the Ravens for the best bird?
Yeah.
Who gets top bird?
I don't know. Which bird is better at birding?
It's a very menacing bird. I really like it.
Yeah, I like the feathers in the back look sharp. Looks like a bird made of razor blades.
I don't want to give it to Donovan, but this is like my favorite logo in the league.
Damn. Okay, let's go A.
Like,
This is a good logo.
This is top 3.
Top 3. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's S personally. The color scheme is like super fucking fire too. I think this is an S.
There's an argument for S. It is a very good logo. A big part of this, does it look good on a helmet? Yes.
Check.
Does it look good on a shirt?
Check.
I suppose.
You could.
It's not the best or worst on a shirt. It passes the shirt test, but not by flying colors. Does it look good by itself? Yes.
Hell yeah.
You could tell me S if you wanted to, but I'm also okay with A.
Yeah.
It keeps throwing me off because last week you put the goddamn Dolphins in A tier, which I keep like the Eagles is much better than the Dolphins. That's because the Dolphins shouldn't be in A tier, I think.
Nah.
It's a nice
If any should be, I don't think the Bills belong in A tier for real.
I don't know. The Bills is a great logo.
Fuck no, bruh. Have you ever had a buffalo burger before in your life?
What does that got to do with it?
Yes, I actually have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's actually pretty good.
Terrible.
Pretty solid.
Disgusting.
It's just meat. Well, how could it be so
It's
disgusting?
meat that you haven't had.
It's just a buffalo, though. It's just like a slightly different cow.
It's not.
It's like that though. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Okay, we'll go A for the Eagles. New Orleans Saints.
This is S tier.
S tier.
This is S tier. I think the Saints, once again, they don't have a lot, but they have some branding. And this little Saint is so one.
This little Saint.
It's unique.
Yeah.
It's unique to them across the league. There's really nothing like it.
Yeah.
It is the color scheme is awesome. The design and just shape of everything is very cool. It is also very historical. I feel like it has to be an S tier logo.
It's not fair when you reach into history for existing symbols. Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I hate to say it because I hate the Saints on all categories and fronts, but this is a very cool logo. This is a very cool color scheme. It means something to the people in that city and those streets in New Orleans.
This might be the most tattooed logo in the NFL. Many people have this logo on their body.
It's either the Saints or the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I think the Saints probably has a lot more tattooed.
A lot more.
A lot more?
Yes, the Saints. What the Saints mean to the South is a lot more like to them as a person. Where I think you want to get tattooed.
The sheer number of Cowboys fans might get it to a place.
Maybe, but
even
it's a different level.
Even just in Dallas, I don't know. It's probably close though.
This symbol, okay, it helps that it's a historical symbol, not a fucking star. So it's like some people were like, I love my team. I don't want like I wouldn't want like a Patriots logo on me. You know, it doesn't necessarily lend itself to a tattoo. The Saints logo lends itself to a tattoo.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like both of these are just like regular symbols that are very tattooable.
Okay. New York Giants.
This is not a good logo. It's not bad, but it's like so just regular.
I like how the Y goes under the end. I've always liked that for some reason. I feel like that's a nice little touch. Doesn't do much, just makes it have a nice little flow to it.
It's cool, but it's not. It's definitely not S. Can't be A.
It's
Hell
C.
no, it's not B.
It's
It
C.
probably might. But what?
Are
they better than New York Jets?
It might be D. It might be right there with the Jets.
It's not even better than the Jets logo to me.
The Jets have basically the same thing where they have the little plane coming out, and the Giants is just a line under the Y. Why are they different?
Why did we
It's
put the Jets
NY.
in
It
D?
doesn't say Giants. Just saying your team name is worse and lacks creativity. Writing out your team name is worse than writing out your team's like initials.
Nah, it's not worse.
I think
I
it's
think
worse.
you're wrong on
How?
that.
It's just basic. Like it's just Jets.
They don't even play in
There's
New
a
York.
plane on the Jets logo though. That's the thing. And it's like
you mentioned this plane. I understand the plane. I don't give a fuck about the plane.
that's a big part of the logo. It's the logo.
It doesn't redeem it for me.
How do you
I'm
not
saying.
give a fuck about the
I
plane?
think your main 90% of your logo, just writing out the name, is the most bland thing I can imagine. Writing out the whole name is whack as fuck.
As opposed to just having the letter.
Plenty of teams have their teams like the city's initial. It's a city, not the team name.
The two logos that we have, there's 3 other logos that we have here that are gonna have just
KC is in C.
just like a letter, but that's actually in a little like spear.
So
like
the arrowhead makes a difference to you.
Yes,
I also just think the Giants logo looks fine. I don't think it looks bad.
I don't
think it's a whole tier above the Jets though.
I think it's like same tier as the Jets. I think it's just higher personally in general, but it can't
the Jets
be.
typeface is whack. Like this is like a logo that stood test time for a reason. It's smooth. It's a good lettering. It looks good.
I feel
the Jets logo is terrible.
Opposite. I feel completely opposite. I think the Jets logo is terrible.
Yeah, well, when the Jets change their logo in 10 years and the Giants are here until you die, then you'll feel differently because one won't be around.
That doesn't mean that it's right. Because that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean
There's
you're
a reason
a
it
bad
won't stick
decision.
around.
Nah,
a bad decision to keep this fuck ass Jets logo. I promise you, this won't be here that long.
Nah, man, you tripping.
Washington Commanders.
F.
Just a W.
F. That's stupid. They haven't been able to figure out the branding. It looks like.
No, it's not. Stop it.
It looks like.
It doesn't look like shit.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to tell you what the streets are saying. Streets are having conversations. They don't know what they want to do. Starting to look like.
No, it's not.
I'm going F.
Yeah, I'm fine with F. It's super. It's like such a forgetable logo.
Okay, doesn't have any history along with it either. Nothing to really latch on to.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It honestly would have been better if they went. If like the team name, they had just stuck with the Washington football team.
I did. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like that more than Commanders.
I feel so official. I like it.
Okay. Chicago Bears. They recently changed their secondary logo to be the primary logo. So now the bear is the main one.
It's hard.
And that's why minimum A tier.
Minimum A tier. This is a tough ass logo.
Yeah.
Can't go not S tier necessarily, but it's a great A tier logo.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, low key, low. There is an argument to put this in S.
I agree.
This bear.
The detail is really nice.
Yeah, this bear is awesome.
It's such an unforgettable logo, and it's so like unique, and it's unlike anything else you've seen.
The like photorealism to the illustration is so unique, like you said. It worked. Fuck it, let's go S tier.
I'm fine.
Let's go.
Let's give the Bears something to live for. They have top tier
also,
logo.
The NFC's S tier is so much better than the AFC's S tier.
Really?
Like I'm looking at this low key. We might have to drop the Broncos out of S tier.
Nah, too late.
We might have to do it because I think that the Broncos have the worst one out of these 6.
Don't retroactively change last week's list? I mean, I guess it does. There's a certain level of iconography with the S tier. That like these are famous teams that like that logo. Like I said, the Chargers, which is just like aesthetics, but the other ones are all like famous because they're so good, and the Broncos aren't necessarily that. I guess you know what? Yeah, let's put the Broncos. The Broncos are similar to the Eagles.
Do you guys want to put the Broncos a tier down? Wow.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I agree. The Minnesota Vikings.
Very good.
Again, what you said about every single high school team for the Green Bay Packers, this again applies to the Vikings. Yep. My high school indeed was a Viking. Nice. Same exact shit.
It's a good logo. I like having a Viking on it with the hair. Like it feels very like of the culture of Viking, you know?
Yeah.
Like it feels like if you're a type of guy that's into Vikings, if that's your culture, this is probably pretty dope.
I
actually nah. I've heard people hate on Vikings.
Really?
On these logos and stuff that's not like actually accurate to what Vikings wore.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck about the Vikings personally. I think the logo's tough as fuck regardless.
I think it's a good logo.
I'm just saying. Apparently, like it's low key just like some cultural appropriation for the Vikes.
Oh, we're appropriating white culture.
Oh.
Yeah,
you have fun with that.
I've heard some people not really like this logo.
I don't give a shit. I think it looks fine. You guys agree with me?
I'm trying to stand up for the people.
B. It's
That's
perfect.
Just add it for the Vikings.
Perfectly fine.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons, the next bird in our tier list.
It's hard as hell again.
It's better. It's better than the Cardinals, not better than the Eagles.
Just put them right in between B tier.
Really? You don't think this is better than the Eagles?
Nope.
No.
You don't think this? I think the only reason for that maybe is that
it's because they're losers, and that's why. That's why. And I'm telling you straight up, that's why I'm putting them below.
Red, black, and white. It's a
no,
great
it's
combination.
great. But again, they're losers, so that's why I put them.
Loser aside, look at the logo. Do you not like see how? Like,
if I put the Cowboys in S because it's worth a lot, I can take a little bit extra for the Falcons. If they weren't just like the ultimate were going to let you down in the biggest moment, I would probably put them higher.
Wow.
I think our S tier is perfect. Our C, D, and F is pretty much perfect. A and B is confusing me the more I'm looking at it. That's kind of hard to parse.
And you know what? It is what it is. Also, there's a better bird than the Falcons.
There is. Where?
There's a better bird
coming.
Yeah.
There's no more birds coming.
The Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks not on here. I fucked it up. I'll put them on there.
Yeah. The Seahawks is a better bird than the Falcons.
Okay. Los Angeles Rams.
I've hated this logo since the day that they released it. I'll go D just because I really don't like the ones in F, but I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah, the Rams logo is so fucking ugly, bro. Like, why I understand it's the Rams and I get what they were doing. I just feel like there's other ways, other avenues to get the point across where like you are a Ram and you like to headbutt shit all the time. There's just different ways.
It's bad. The other one was better when they're in St. Louis. This Ram just looks corporate. It looks lifeless. It looks like a Los Angeles company in the worst way possible. That is an insult.
Derogatory.
Derogatory. It's to Los Angeles. It looks like it belongs at an airport. Mm-hmm. It's not great.
Yeah, their old logo was so much better than this piece of shit.
San
Francisco 49ers.
Just 2 letters. The colors are really nice.
Hard as hell, though.
2 letters can be good.
It's iconic.
The colors are really, really nice.
To me, I think this is
It's not.
I don't know if it's an A logo, but it's like it's an A color scheme.
I think it'd be B.
B's fine.
It's better than the Packers logo.
I really like it.
It is better, genuinely.
Yeah.
I also feel like I connected too much to the uniforms, which I love. Maybe the logo by itself is pretty similar to the Chiefs.
And that's how you know you have a good logo. When you could pull the logo and you could see it and you start thinking about everything that's involved in whatever aspect it is logoing.
I don't know.
I like that.
I don't know. I think that's
I think that's just
the way to think about it.
I think that if you have that feeling, that's the logo doing its job and they have succeeded. So I would think that it's probably at least an A-tier logo.
A-tier logo. I can get there.
It's up there.
It's so hard to divorce the history from it and how iconic it is.
You want your logo to be emblematic of your franchise.
It's pretty similar to the Steelers, and we have the Steelers A-tier.
I fucking hate the Steelers logo. Y'all have the Steelers A-tier.
Because it's like that.
Hell no.
Because we have the history and the feeling to it. You're coming in with a blank slate.
Ew. I seen Ben Roethlisberger. I seen Troy Polamalu.
The Detroit Lions. I think it's a solid B.
It's a good logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good logo.
Yeah.
Put it B.
I really feel like it's so hard. The A and B feels like one big tier to me. It's very tough, like deciding between these 2 tiers.
Yeah.
I kind of like some of the B tier logos more than the A tier logos.
Which one?
Maybe it's just because it's a group list.
Which one specifically?
Falcons, Patriots. I feel like I like as much as the A tiers.
I think you should put. I think the Falcons.
Low key, the Vikings one.
Yeah, I like the Vikings too. I like all those logos.
I think the Vikings one needs to go in A.
And it throws me off because we have the goddamn Dolphins up there, which I hate.
No, the Dolphins one is nice.
Yeah,
fair, whatever.
Dolphins is fire.
Steelers, I'm like they're there for vibes. Like that's hard.
Steelers are there for vibes. Get the fuck out of here.
They're cool. They're all right.
Kick this guy out of the party, man. The Steelers need to get the fuck out of here. You're not invited, man.
You're not a vibe.
Yeah.
I kind of want to put the Falcons to A tier, but I don't know.
I want the Falcons.
Man, let's just keep moving.
I think they should be an A.
It's okay.
I don't stand on this B tier at all.
It's one big tier.
I don't stand on this B tier whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just justify it in your own mind.
Carolina Panthers. That is a C tier logo to me.
What the fuck? C tier?
Wait, let me see.
Whoa! Slow down. You don't fuck with the Panthers?
What do you mean I don't fuck with the Panthers? I said C, not F. I think it's a cool logo.
Nah, man.
That blue tint around it. That's not.
You gotta put that higher.
Higher B tier?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
B tier. Yeah,
I like it. Again,
put it in B tier.
A and B is so tough, and we have 2 things in C tier.
Honestly, I'm looking at the Lions. They might be S. I mean A.
Nah.
Lions logo's tough. That line just finna pounce on you.
This A and F. This is the most I've ever struggled with the tier list between A and F for some reason. I mean,
there's so many
between A and B.
The NFC has a lot of really good logos.
Yeah, this A and B is tough, man. Seattle Seahawks.
Now, this is the only bird, in my opinion, that can rival the Eagles.
Hell no, that bird is ugly as fuck.
No, this
ugly as fuck.
You're dumb.
That bird gets no.
You're actually.
He gets no play, bro.
You're actually.
No.
operating on
You're
two brain cells.
You're swayed by the seagull. You're easy, bruh. You're easy. You're easy, bruh. It's so easy to impress you. That's what you're telling
you're
me.
a bop.
Flashy colors and you're going, bruh. You're green as hell. You are green as hell. Hell
Overly.
no. Yes.
Overly.
Yes.
This
you are.
Seahawk is good.
No, it's not good.
It's good.
It's not. I've never seen on ride for a Seahawk.
It's so much better than the
Gray
Falcons
and navy
one.
blue.
It's so much better than the
What's
Falcons
going on,
one.
man?
If we're talking about menacing birds,
where is your swag at? This is not where
the Seahawks.
Hell
the Seahawks
no.
logo is as menacing a bird as there is on this list. It is very.
This
unique.
is a minivan type logo. It just
Exactly.
doesn't have.
It's
There's
very-
no
exactly.
curvature to it.
Exactly.
It's just looking.
You get the
straight
curvature
forward.
on the beak. It is very unique.
Nice. Your beak has curves. That doesn't move no one.
First of all, it is more dangerous than the Falcons one.
Dangerous.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I feel really safe looking at that Seahawk.
No, if I see the Falcons
That
logo,
Seahawk look like it would
lick.
save my life.
Walk and lick. You are sweet if you have the Falcons logo on your shirt. The Seahawks one, that is a legit.
Dude,
we are
that
a
Falcon
menace.
has sharp edges
We are
for its
to
wings.
be feared in this league. I'm going with the Seahawks.
You're being feared by the Seahawks logo.
The Seahawk is.
So where do y'all
is
want to
awesome.
put it? We're just like talking
The
about the vibe.
Seahawk is clearly A tier, and I
can't get
And this
that.
is actually the one time I do not think that you have an opinion that we can stand on this one. The Seahawks is A tier.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Is A tier.
You are tripping, Unk. I didn't know you were writing for the Seahawks logo like that. I knew you thought it was a good logo in general, but to this degree,
it's great.
It's A tier,
No.
by the way.
you think it's A tier as well?
Yeah, it's a good logo.
Easily.
No,
It's not a bad logo. I never said what tier it should be.
the problem is, I think low key, I think we should move a lot of the B up to A tier. I think the A tier should just be huge. Like it feels like.
Let's stand on it.
Okay,
I think the Falcons should be A tier.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking the Colts should be C. I'm thinking.
Colts.
I think the Colts look kind of out of place here.
Okay, fine.
Like I think the low key, the problem might be that some of these B tier logos need to be in C. Like I think this should be in C going down. One of these blue teams, I don't know. Are these both B tier caliber?
Honestly, no. Listen,
The Lions should go up to
A tier. A tier is just gonna be big as hell, and
Yeah.
we'll just combine those two, and that's it.
Okay, so I think the Falcons should be up here. If we're gonna make the A tier big as hell,
Let's put
I
the
think-
Lions up there too, and the Vikings.
I'm with you on Vikings. Does Lions have to be A tier?
I don't think so.
I think Lions is fine there.
Oh man, wow.
I think this is good. I feel better about this.
Okay.
Patriots, Texans.
There's some good ass logos in the NFL. I feel like all these can
Packers.
be A tier. And then yeah, we have 5 among the top in S. Low key Eagles could be S tier.
I think
Low
so.
key.
Me personally, I think so.
Low key Eagles can be S tier. I think that's a great logo.
Top.
Move it
tier
up there.
logo.
So now we have 6 in S tier, the fat ass A tier, and I feel better about this now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I still feel like Giants should be C tier, but I'm like not dying on that hill.
Nah, they suck.
The Jags logo looks better than the other ones in D tier.
Guess what?
But they're the
sucks.
Jags.
Still
So-
sucks.
Okay, I think this is I think we just saved it at the end. I think this is much better.
Okay, I feel much better about this for sure.
I kind of feel like Commanders shouldn't be in F tier because I think Browns and Bengals should stand alone as different levels of garbage.
No, that one's bad.
But again, I won't argue it. It's also not great.
that
so
one's bad.
I'm not gonna die on the hill at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think you did decent.
I think we did decent. This is a decent ass tier list. It's not great, not a perfect tier list. I can guarantee you that there will be
But
disagreement.
we tried our best.
but it's decent.
Yeah, it's decent.
Next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna name some NFL defenses, and you guys are gonna blind rank them.
Let's do it.
I'm
So-
closing my eyes.
Yeah, 1 through 5, based on what we've seen in the first 2 weeks. How good do you think
rank
they are
them.
projecting for the rest of the season?
Okay.
First off, Green Bay Packers.
That's one.
Yeah.
I will waste the one spot, and it's not even a waste.
They've been dominant. Through 2 weeks, they've clearly been number 1.
This team. Oh my goodness! You can't get any explosives on them. You can't pass block them. You can't run on them. You can't throw on them. You can't get off the bus on them. I'm going with the Packers at 1.
You simply just do not have a weak point at this time right now. Your team is unbendable, unbreakable. They're
Well,
easily number 1.
So far, yeah.
So far.
So you don't want to leave any room for any other elite defenses.
Nah, put
I
them in 1.
feel very.
They
good.
strike fear into hearts.
Okay. Dallas Cowboys.
5. Actually 4.
Now this team right
Actually,
here,
no, 5. You just gave up 37 to rush.
they strike confidence in my heart. They are very believable on the defensive end.
Micah Parsons is giving nightmares. Whatever the opposite of a nightmare is, Dallas Cowboys is giving it to him. You get off the bus, you see a pocket full of sunshine.
Fairy tales.
You create opportunities for the communities in which you play against.
Exactly.
This is a DEI defense.
You make everybody's lives better.
That's funny.
Okay. Philadelphia Eagles.
3?
3 or okay, so the
It could be
Packers.
2.
I can say. I'll let you know next week after we play Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams.
Sit back cornerback 2 room. The edge room isn't what it once was.
I think 3 is fine. You can convince me to, but I think 3 is very
I'll say
safe.
3 right now. They still have some questions, but they are still going to be a good unit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's fair. The Steelers.
4.
Ooh, shit.
That slots in quite perfectly.
This is rough.
Yeah.
Through
bro.
2 weeks, they can't defend the run whatsoever, but they are not the Cowboys.
You, and me. 50 yards each.
Oh my God.
4 yards a pop. Okay. And last but not least, number 2,
Oh shit.
Minnesota Vikings.
I feel
that feels good.
this is as
perfect
good
list.
of a blind ranking as we've ever done.
This
No,
is
that's
the
honestly perfect. That's what I
Best
would have did.
list. Wow, man. Yeah, the Vikings are definitely a different tier compared to the Eagles right now. In terms of defense, they're a tier. I feel like the Vikings are a tier 1 defense alongside everyone else, and the Eagles are just a step below.
Yeah, I thought you would have fucked it up by putting the Eagles number 2, but you put the Vikings 2, which is the right answer, I think.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah, we did
I'm proud of
good.
you.
So we suck at blind rankings. Today we did a good job.
You did good, man.
Okay. Last thing we're going to do today. We got to pick the biggest winners and losers of the NFL season from week 2. So all the teams that won, all the teams that lost, picking individuals or picking fan bases or coaches, whatever you want, who jumps out to us as people that won and lost this week.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the winners. Donovan, who was the biggest winner this week to you?
Box score watchers.
Okay.
Because if you look at the box score and you see, hey, Bryce Young threw for 300 yards, you say, this guy's got it. I promise you, it's not looking like that.
Well, second half, he played really well.
I promise you, it's not looking
First half of the game, Bryce Young was one of the biggest losers.
Can you do-
Second half, biggest winner.
Exactly. Can you do that when your quarterback is fumbling the ball, throwing interceptions in every single game? No, I
He
cannot.
played
do
a good
that.
second half to me.
Yeah.
Box score watcher, winner.
Other biggest winner, first one, by Shell Tootin. Tootin, biggest winner so far of the Tank Bigsby trade. He got shipped out of town, sent to Philadelphia because they said, this rookie we got is special. I feel like after what I watched in week 2, it's a matter of time before he's a starter.
Yes.
And ETN's played well. I still feel like Tootin's going to be the starter.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you go for your winner?
I think winner.
Because I have one. I have another one.
Yeah. I can fire out. Yeah. Go ahead. Who's your winner?
I'm going with Lions fans' mental health.
Okay, that's definitely a winner.
Okay.
They feel so much better about their team and about their lives for the next 5 to 6 months
Very true.
after putting 50 points on the Bears. You finally saw, like, you know what? We don't need Ben Johnson. We can run the ball on our own. Jared Goff can throw touchdowns on his own.
If there's ever a fan base that was everybody knows you can't overreact to week 1.
Very
But if
true.
there's ever a fan base that was ready to overreact to week 1, it was the Detroit Lions after the hot shit they've been talking for the last 2 years of being a contender. I know they got a little sweaty. They said, oh my God, is it over? Is the window done? Am I going back to being mid? Fuck. I know they were scared.
Yeah, I agree. I think a winner in the most unconventional way has to be the Commanders because everyone understands after the ass whooping that the Bears took, hey, we ain't that bad. And they're just like that. You can't go ahead and question the entirety of our team. Jaden Daniels didn't go ahead and take no damn step back at all. There's no such thing as a sophomore slump to him. We're just facing genuinely what might be the best defense in the NFL. We're good.
Exactly. They beat the shit out of the Lions. They beat the shit out of you. It's not a me problem. It's a Micah Parsons is unblockable problem. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
So they're not winners because they lost, but they are not losers, like some people might say.
Yeah.
Obviously, biggest winner of the week is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has had a second good performance in a row. Somebody that was damn near like never going to get a chance as a starter again coming into this year. Like if you told me this past summer over under 5 more games Daniel Jones to start in his career, I might not have been that confident about the over. It was looking spooky as fuck, and Shane Steichen has completely unlocked him.
Hell yeah. Another winner as well, the Drake May fan club. He's
True.
right on track to reaching his fullest potential, being a nice, gaudy, 6'4", 6'5" quarterback, hellacious arm, mobile,
Nice gaudy
decisive.
Built like a brick house. Built like you want your quarterback. Built quarterbacky. Yep.
Big winner.
Justin Fields doubters, big winner for this week. Everybody that was saying week 1 is fake, can't throw, can't read a field. Congratulations. Week 2 did not go well. If you woke up feeling like a hater after week 1, you were feeling great today.
Yep. Bijan Robinson, winner.
Hell yeah.
People that like to say Bijan and not Bijan, winner. They made it clear that he wants to be pronounced Bijan, so we've been right the whole time. It's his mother and grandma who said Bijan, but he doesn't like it. So all of us that can never remember how to say that shit, winners.
Sounds like there's some family feud, man. In that Bijan Robinson household, losers. We don't know what's going on right now. You guys are not cohesive as a unit.
Get your household in order.
Exactly, Bijan.
Bring the family unit together. Winner, George Pickens, caught a touchdown today. After game one, was not happy about his lack of touchdowns, clearly. The on-field body language, you could tell, he got fed today. He got drip fed, and now he's going to be hopefully 2 more weeks of happiness.
Another winner. There's right now an open spot for the greatest kicker of all time. That spot has been vacated. Brandon Aubrey is right there like, hey, listen, I could be your guy. 64 yards.
Yeah.
And that would have been good from like 80 yards. He is, that guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Biggest winner of the day, Tyreek Hill. Finally got a pass over 30 yards for the first time in a year.
Wow.
Finally caught a 35-yard reception.
I can't believe it.
Dude, I hated how much attention they were paying to that. It was hilarious on the broadcast.
Finally, he did it. We did it, Tua. They finally did it. Okay, biggest loser of the week.
I mean, clearly, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson
getting stomped out by your ex?
By 51, bro. 52 on your head. And then on top of that, too, they went ahead and they made a mockery of one of your famous plays.
Oh, yeah.
When was it off of a pick that they did that celebration?
I can't remember, but the Lions defense recreated the Jared Goff fake stumble into a play action pass for a touchdown. They're playing in your face.
They're basically not even that.
Just blatant disrespect.
They're basically pissing on your grave.
Damn.
That's what it is right there.
After putting 50 on you and your new team.
Yeah.
Biggest loser is Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles, you built a bullshit roster. A story came out a few days ago that you thought Drake May potentially go number 1 overall was a joke. That some of your scouts liked him and you laughed him out the room. Drake May looked like a goddamn superstar today, and you look like the worst talent evaluator in sports right now.
I mean, he was just following what everybody else was saying. Everyone was like, you got to take Caleb. You can't miss. And then he listens to everybody, and then it was like, man.
If you're a GM,
I took the wrong guy.
If you're a GM, you make your decision off what Twitter says, you're a fucking idiot. If you don't consider the other elite QB prospects,
for you.
You're a fucking idiot.
I got some news
I guess
for
you
you.
could come some new news. He's an idiot.
Coming to the conclusion that Caleb's the right pick, totally reasonable. Not even thinking about Jaden Daniels, not even thinking about Drake May. You are a fucking idiot. That is your job, to do due diligence and make sure Twitter is right.
It's like a 10 on the fucking idiot count.
It's a fucking ridiculous 10. It's God. Ryan Poles by far the biggest loser. Second biggest loser, Caleb Johnson fantasy managers.
I had the same exact thing.
If you, like me, drafted Caleb Johnson in a dynasty league, just know that's a year 2 play. He's not going to play this year because he's already a special teamer. Aaron Rodgers doesn't like rookie running backs. Can't rely on him to pass protect. And then he does the stupidest special teams play I've seen in the last 10 years of NFL football. Oh, he's glued to the bench forever.
Yeah, get ready to speak pine, buddy.
Yeah. Get ready to watch Kenneth Gainwell. I hope he's on your waiver wire. You might as well pick him up. That is the RB2 in Pittsburgh, which is a disgusting statement, but that's where we're at.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about a winner completely, man. Cam Ward. He's a fucking demon, bro. He is going to be a part of the league for a long time and a fucking star. But within that same breath, too, loser. Naturally, we mentioned it at the top of the show. Bengals fans, you have no hopes or real aspirations to win a Super Bowl this year. Like you had a punch or chance to in week 2 or in week 1. It's over completely.
Yep, that's true. Another fan base.
Bengals fandom kind of transcends the loser of the week. Like that's just like loser of eternity. So I don't even they don't even come to mind because they're just perpetual losers.
But guess what? I got another one for you. Another franchise that is upset about their quarterback. Losers, Vikings fans.
Oh, yeah, true.
JJ McCarthy is looking bad.
Yeah.
You know who looks totally fine? Like he could totally win and help his coach win Coach of the Year? Sam Darnold.
What if he does that? What if Sam Darnold just goes from team to team, helping coaches win Coach of the Year?
Yeah, it's just a perpetual journeyman. Help him elevate his coaches.
Who else lost this week?
Oh, well, Justin Field managers in fantasy football.
Oh, yeah, they're in hell.
Oh, despite the win, Trevor Lawrence fans.
He actually, I look back, he didn't play that bad. He didn't play bad. Yeah. It was who lost. Brian Thomas Jr. is one of the biggest losers. Brian Thomas Jr.
Everybody.
No, it is exclusively Brian Thomas Jr.
It's not exclusive.
No, it is exclusively. Brian Thomas Jr. looks like a receiver scared to get hit in a way I haven't really seen in the NFL in a long time. He got clobbered in the preseason, and since then looks like he's seeing, hearing, sensing imagining whatever other verb you can think of, ghosts. That man is terrified to get hit. He's running around like he doesn't want to be there. It looked bad for someone who's supposed to be a superstar receiver.
He genuinely is hurt, and he's playing hurt. And I think he's not realizing this, but you're hurting the team the more you're out there if you're just like holding back your superstar skill sets.
He's playing hurt mentally. That's what he needs to see. A sports psychologist. It does not look good. Like, he's so clearly capable of more, and you see him run over the middle of the field and just like tense up and not run through a route that should be an easy catch over the middle because the contact is looming. I don't know what's up with him, but I pray to God he fixes it.
Forcing interceptions.
It's gonna come out within these next few days that he's gonna be out for a certain amount of time. It has to. That's the only way that makes sense why you're playing so frail.
I don't even think he is hurt physically. I don't even think it is that. That's just the crazy part.
He has the yips.
Low key.
That's so unforeseen. Out of nowhere.
I mean, not he got a big hit in the preseason though. He got laid down in the preseason by safety.
Yeah.
Okay. Other biggest losers. The Dolphins fans who used to argue a couple years ago that Justin Herbert is not as good as Tua. You are dead in the water, buddy. You are stupid. You are the biggest
talking
dumbass.
to someone specifically.
You're dumb as fuck. Emmanuel Acho, you're dumb as fuck. Anybody at the time 2 years ago, you were dumb as fuck. Tua was never better than Justin Herbert. History tells all. You look insane now to watch Tua perform this week and never suggest that he was a better pick.
Yeah, you've been holding on to that.
I've been saying it for 2 years. It's been coming out nonstop. That was the stupidest discourse war I've ever seen, and it's aged stupider and stupider as the years go on.
That's funny.
That was a real thing that they made the right choice picking Tua over Herbert. Now we see that is a franchise crippling choice.
Yeah, everybody's getting fired.
And imagine if Mike McDaniels had Justin Herbert right now. Good Lord.
Wow.
Tyreek Hill would have broken every NFL record known to man.
Jesus.
Who else lost? Travis Kelce, loser of the week.
Is Travis Hunter a loser? Because he just felt like he didn't really have much impact on the game.
The way they're using him is so weird, man. Like
he has to be a loser.
He's Wan'Dale Robinson right now. They're just throwing him the ball at the line of scrimmage and saying, go cook. And he got less snaps in week 2 because he got more on defense.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a loser as much as the fandom is a loser because they feel like they're not getting number 2 pick value yet.
We're all losers because we're missing out on it.
The Jags are also losers. It doesn't work if you're not going to play him on both sides of the ball like an actual player on both sides of the ball. If you are not going to do that, then you should have kept your pick at where it was, drafted whoever, and then maintained your first round picks that you traded away to go get him. If that is not the case, you are misusing him.
Yeah. I mean, they'll figure it out. It's only been 2 weeks, so I'm not going to say like it was a mistake yet.
Nah.
But it's not encouraging the first 2 weeks. And to be fair, it was obviously going to take time to figure out how to utilize the most unique player in the NFL. That was never going to be something they figure out day one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We're 2 weeks in. You only got so many weeks before I'm like, come on.
We're losing it, man.
See, guy like me, listen, you're a rookie. You're young. You can take all this punishment and beating. You also haven't played any football. Starting you out. 100 snaps on both sides.
100 snaps gonna kill him.
Other biggest loser, the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
Absolute disaster class. The fact that you're 2-0 despite having that terrible of an offensive game, count your days. Pretty soon you're going to face some teams that know to score the ball.
Definitely, yeah. I think Jalen Hurts is not a loser. Obviously made it known that he is a winner. He did win that game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. But definitely for the Jalen Hurts fan club, this is not a good look. You only threw for 102 yards or something like that, and you don't even get respect out of your peers. Like dudes over here saying you didn't even throw for 100 yards.
Yeah, well he lost, so it doesn't matter.
He lost, but like the running joke is still very well alive, and your peers.
It's also like
it.
if you look at this and you say this is a Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball problem, there's a complete misrepresentation of what's happening.
Well,
an absolute complete like you're making that argument in bad faith.
To say he can't throw the ball is the wrong way to phrase it, but to say that he's not necessarily elevating and like needs to have a perfect scenario is like that argument's backed up a little bit, but also it's not his fault that the route combinations are horrendous and ridiculous. But there is something to the fact that like he can't really do anything to alleviate that. Like he doesn't like contribute to overcoming any offensive scheme deficiencies.
Just made the argument.
Like I say it to say because a top 5 QB would, and that's the places you guys want to push him to. So I think he's certainly like not performing like a top 5 QB, but it's also certainly not his fault. So I'm not here to say it's a Jalen Hurts problem.
Well, even with bottom 5 OCing. I mean, listen,
he's bottom 5.
The way Patullo's calling
these last 2
it has been great. Sure. No, it has been great.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I do think it's bad for the Jalen Hurts top 5 agenda.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
in terms of us that live in fucking reality and know he was never that, but he also isn't like a fraud. It's fine. It's not his fault.
Guess what? Still, it's okay. We operate on two different things. It's fine. It's fine.
Your fan club is down. This
week. Everybody else wants to be like Chris Jones. Oh, you only threw 400. Again, at the end of the day, it is truly like, can you get the win? Jalen Hurts is still contributing to that, but we'll see what happens.
You're right. We only judge athletes by can their team win. That's the only thing we've ever discussed. Nobody. That's the only thing that matters is do you win the game?
Yeah.
Reed Blankenship, you are the best free safety in the NFL, top 5 at worst. You won the game. Adoree Jackson, you're 2-0. You're a goon.
This is one of the worst faith arguments.
No. The Jalen Hurts QB discourse is the worst faith argument.
But you clearly understand.
Of course.
That's what I'm
obviously.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's not 1-1 clearly, but the principle of all that matters to get the win when discussing the quality of quarterbacking is the definition of bad faith. That's ridiculous. It's not even bad faith. It's delusion. You don't talk about the way about any player ever besides Jalen Hurts.
That is not true.
Well, I don't disagree.
That's just not true. And also the level to which and the amount of winning is like if Hurts was doing this and they're like, I don't know, 10-7 or like 11 and whatever, like every year, or like 9-8, then it's like it's different. But because you've gotten to the place and you've won at an astounding level, then once you get to that point, that's when you can start having conversations that are a little bit different than what we do for 95% of the other quarterbacks. But it's also a very rare situation where people are winning as much as any quarterback, whether it's like Mahomes, Allen, or Hurts or anything like that.
Okay, I'm not going to say he's bad or anything.
More Jalen Hurts discourse.
Either way.
I know, it always evolves into that.
Either way. Patullo, count your days.
Patullo.
Count your days.
Yeah.
And the moment the Dolphins lose 6 games in a row, Mike McDaniels, get ready to speak cheesesteak, buddy. Because you're going to be on the first flight, first class up here. Come fix this.
We can't focus. We can't do infighting here. Jalen Hurts is not the issue. You must focus on the true common enemy to football watchers, Patullo.
Kevin Patullo.
You are the problem. Jalen Hurts is the victim here.
That we can agree on.
God learned nothing.
He's a massive victim. Perpetual loser. Bears fans. Just, every year, sell yourself the dream. It'll be better. And it is better to some extent, but you are 0-2. And you guys can use all the contextual analysis in your mind to know that it's understandable you're 0-2. These two teams are better than you. You were expected to lose both games, so it's not a shock. Still doesn't feel good. I know it. Still stings.
They suck.
Isn't their new stadium like brand new? Did they create that like last year, 2 years? The Bears stadium?
No.
Or do they have one in plan?
Their stadium is very old.
They're trying to.
Yeah, they have one in plan. Okay.
Well, sort of. It's like they're trying to make it happen. It's not guaranteed it's going to happen yet.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it happen.
Losers, man.
Just losers. Yeah.
You can't break ground.
Oh, yeah.
God. Damn. And that's our biggest winners, losers of the week.
Yeah, man.
Damn. I'm glad we finalized it with Bears fans because you just know. One above all.
Y'all suck.
You're the biggest losers. With that being said, if you're still here, comment RIP Bears fans. And yeah, man, we'll see you on Thursday for the next episode of this show.